Greetings from Kimberly, Wisconsin. High school football is on the air here on our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream game of the week. Oh boy, what a doozy we have for you here tonight. It is level 3 of the playoffs, and we've got Appleton North here in Kimberly to take on the Kimberly Papermakers. I am Joey D alongside John Dinsey, Adam Van Handel, our camera operator, and we will come back and check out the details of this one coming up next right after this.
Make fenced-in yard happen. Make two-story in town happen. Or ranch in the country happen. Definitely make 2 bathrooms happen. With Fox, make we can afford that one happen. When it's time to decide on your dream home, Fox helps you make life happen. Visit one of 22 Fox locations or apply online today so you can make this is the one happen.
Fox Communities.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I would like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
Back here in Kimberly, where we are just about ready for kickoff between Appleton North and Kimberly here on our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream game of the week. Glad to be here on, well, let's just say a little chilly night here in Northeast Wisconsin. Let's bring in my broadcast partner, John Dinsey. How you doing, John? You shuddering over there?
I am. I'm freezing. But, you know, Joey, you work the 9 to 5 every single day. You have dinner with your wife, and you say, hey, Friday night's filled for me. I'm going to Kimberly, Appleton North, and whether it's freezing or not, I'm calling this game. And we're lucky enough that we get to do it together. So.
Absolutely. So what are you expecting here this evening between these two, I guess, bitter rivals here in the conference overall? And here we are, level 3 of the playoffs, everything on the line.
Well, the theme so far, and I've had all 3 of Kimberly's playoff games, has been, you know, redemption, right? I mean, they get Wisconsin Rapids right away. Rapids gets another shot at them, right? Last week they play Neenah. Neenah gets another shot at them. This week Appleton North gets another shot at them. So, you know, teams in the conference, in a really good conference, are getting, you know, their second attempt at Kimberly, and we'll find out if Appleton North is up for the task.
As you can see, the Makers going crazy there on the Big K, and they are undefeated coming into this one, 11-0 overall. They won the FVA conference there in going 8-0, averaging 42 points per game. Appleton North coming in at 8-3 overall, 6-2 in conference play. They average 27 points a game, but these two teams, well, they know each other well, and both of these teams no stranger to the playoffs either, and the winner of this one will move on to the state semifinal. And we are just about ready for kickoff here in Kimberly. It is a beautiful evening with the I do look up into the lights, and I do see a few flurries that are flying around. You look at the flag, and it is blowing from right to left. And it will be Appleton North to receive the opening kickoff. I want to thank all of our fine sponsors here this evening, as we had a couple new ones that have jumped on board here for this playoff game. Got Fox Communities Credit Union, Danwell House & Sons, Myron Construction, Ace Hardware, Creative Imprint, Julian Strategic Alliance, Tanner's Grill on board. And we hope that you are on board all evening long tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. We got a good one for you. As Appleton North and Kimberly, their first matchup just a couple of weeks ago, 45-14 here in Kimberly. And Kimberly took care of them kind of in surprising fashion, John, won't you say?
Yeah, I think, when you watch Appleton North and you watch Kimberly, I mean, you look on the field and you see two big athletic teams. The big difference is North is young, and they looked like a young football team in that first meeting.
Kickoff ran all the way out to near the 40-yard line by Heron. And Appleton North will come out first here on offense.
Yeah, big return, good field position for Appleton North. They're going to start right about the 40-yard line.
With Scheckelman coming out as their quarterback. 60% completion on the season, 15 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
In that first meeting, they had a lot of success running the ball with number 44, Cal Martini, who you see next to Scheckelman.
And already a flag, and this is going to go on Appleton North before the first snap. Oh, boy. Any pre-snap penalty, but especially the first one of the game.
Yeah, and truthfully, in the first game, that was really the theme, was Appleton North making a lot of mistakes and really shooting themselves in the foot, which is something you can't do, obviously, on the road at Kimberly.
Makes it 1st and 15 now on the first play of the game. And they give it right to Martini and trying to get some kind of room. Might have got 2 yards up to about the 37-yard line.
Yeah,
So
just real quick, one back power out of shotgun. Tries to get inside of his lead blocker, but Kimberly was up to the task. Both linebackers did a great job of filling.
2nd down and 12 just underway. Play number 2, Scheckelman. And he is brought down by big 97. Logan Wilson was the first to get to him. 6'4", 271-pound senior. Down he goes, and not looking good. The first couple of plays here, you had a penalty, only a 3-yard run, and then a sack. And that's how this one is opened up big time here for Kimberly.
Yeah, North has obviously had a lot of success so far in the playoffs offensively. They've scored a ton of points. They scored 50-plus against Eau Claire Memorial and then 40-plus against DC Everest. But the key to them is getting the ball in their athletes' hands really quick, and Kimberly just defended that play really well.
Scheckelman back to pass. All kinds of time. Lost it in the air. He's got his man open. A perfect pass down the sideline for a first down.
Yeah, great job on that route. Wheel route basically by the number 2 receiver. Number 2, Griffin Weigel from Kimberly, really just tried to play the ball instead of running with the man. Perfect throw on the wheel route by Scheckelman.
Alex Heron does have a couple of touchdowns. But, wow, he just placed that one absolutely perfectly, and a big pickup on 3rd down. And now it's 1st and 10 on the 38-yard line. He'll work it near side now. That one is complete to Kyle Funky.
Yeah, and Joey, in that first meeting, that quick screen game out to the trips bunched receivers worked really well against Kimberly. Kimberly really didn't adjust to that formation. North was able to have a lot of success with that formation. Now, you got to get the snap there, so the timing is better. They're lucky, really, that they didn't have an offensive lineman down the field on that pass play.
Funky is their leading receiver on the season. 66 catches coming into this one. That puts him over 700 yards on the season and 5 scores as well. So he's been his favorite target. And this one is taken by Heron. The direct snap, and the ball is loose. Kimberly says they have it. What do the refs say? Still North football. Boy, that was close. Coming up with it on the bottom of the pile, Jack Kreitzer. Luckily for North, that was a near turnover.
Yeah, Joey, and that's, again, another high snap. Scheckelman isn't able to get the ball in the belly of his running back, and he was forced to follow his running back really on a broken play, which leads to the potential fumble.
So it's 3rd down and 4 on the 32-yard line. 9 minutes and 10 seconds and counting here in this first quarter. First possession, Scheckelman with 3 receivers to the left side. Which one did he throw it to? That goes to Funky, and he will have a first down. 3 receivers out there. Got himself a screen as soon as he got it and across and moved the chains.
Yeah, really interesting adjustment. Both times they've ran that play, they're bringing in essentially an extra O-lineman to play tight end. Looks like number 99 is coming in playing tight end. And basically the middle receiver of that bunch is a dead receiver because they have 4 receivers to that side. Gives them an extra blocker, and so far the screen game has been a big play for Appleton North.
Funky and Heron out here to the near side. He's going for Heron and had him. It went through his midst, though. About that 10-yard line, that would have been near a first down again, but instead it'll be 2nd down and 10. But again, another quick pass out here to the near side.
Yeah, so they're running, essentially the number 1 receiver underneath, trying to occupy the overhangs and just wheeling behind it, the number 2 receiver. Again, they caught Kimberly in that wheel. Good throw, just wasn't able to be caught by Funky.
2nd and 10 on the 22-yard line. 8:33 remaining in this first quarter. Scheckelman rolling right. Almost a one-handed grab, but incomplete. He was looking for Bo Burling. And it's incomplete. It will be now 3rd and 10 on the 22. And again, another quick pass. That's what they've been doing.
Yeah, good play action concept. Truthfully, it looked like Burling was held out of the backfield. Kimberly probably got away with that defensively. But ultimately, this is the position that Kimberly really has done a great job of just stopping teams, putting them in 3rd and long in that weird position of the field where you probably can't kick a field goal here.
3rd and 10, looking right. We do have a flag on the play. Scheckelman fires it. It is tipped up in the air, incomplete, but we'll see what the flag is. And it's going to be a false start on Appleton North. Well, the call is holding. The one said false start. The PA said hold. Oh, it's 2 penalties. All right. Holding and false start.
And again, Appleton North with another mental mistake. They're going to be backed up against the chains again in 3rd and long. These are the positions that really Kimberly has put teams in all year, and especially in the playoffs. Teams have moved the ball against Kimberly's defense, but once they get from about the 40 to the 20, Joe, you ain't kicking a field goal here,
Yeah.
right? So you're in 2-down distance, and as a result, if you don't come away with any points, now you put Kimberly's offense on the field with a missed opportunity, even though you drove the ball.
That brings up 3rd down and 21. The ball is marked on the 34-yard line. Cowbell's going nuts. Can you tell which side we're on? Scheckelman. And incomplete. Nice defensive play. That'll bring up 4th down and long. And that'll be it for Appleton North on their first possession of the ball game.
Yeah, they put Kreitzer to the single wide receiver side, and they did that a lot in the first game. It's him against Griffin Weagle. Truthfully, if the ball gets out a little bit quicker, it's probably a completion, but Scheckelman just hung on to it too long. Weagle knocks it down, and here's Appleton North after moving the ball, getting stopped by Kimberly's defense at about the 40 and having to punt.
Boy, that wind is really whipping. He's going to be kicking it into the wind.
Yeah, Joe, you got to really figure there's no field goals going to be kicked to that direction.
That one just kind of hangs and then starts to fly backward. Still bouncing around on that turf and finally whistled dead down around the 10-yard line. And so several plays, but that is it for Appleton North on their first possession. Kimberly will take over 1st and 10. Got to tell you about some of our fine sponsors tonight. How about Ace Hardware of Appleton? They are proud to support high school sports and the Appleton North Lightning. Your neighbors at Ace are here to help you with that next project. At Ace Hardware of Appleton, you'll find window treatment kits, LED lighting, a wide selection of shovels, salt tools, plumbing, grills, and a whole lot more. Check them out on 00 in Appleton, proud sponsor of high school sports, Ace Hardware of Appleton. First play of scrimmage for Kimberly. And Martzo will gain maybe about a yard or so before he is stopped.
Yeah,
so second down and 9.
So, Joey, they started in their Wildcat look with Martzel playing quarterback and Caleb Frazier playing tailback. Really, of all the games I've seen this year of Kimberly, Appleton North has really done the best defending them in the run game. Really about the only team that's defended the run well all year against Kimberly.
Gonna have to do it again here tonight. The numbers are outrageous for Frazier and Martzel, who takes it himself once again and spinning his way across the 20. The marker dropped, but I think he got past it. Yep, they're going to move the chains. It'll be first and 10 on the 24 is where they're going to mark it. Nice run for Martzel.
Yeah, it just can't happen. The defensive end or the overhang player for Appleton North is the farthest outside player, and he gets hooked. Martzel gets outside of him. You cannot give up the edge to Kimberly.
Look at those numbers for Martzel and Frazier. 1,505 yards, 1,289 yards, 16 touchdowns, 29 touchdowns. Frazier gets it here. Looking for some room, lowering that shoulder. Knocked out of bounds, slips and falls. Hopefully he's all right, but another big gainer on first down for Kimberly.
Classic Kimberly counter play. Frazier looks inside first, doesn't see anything there, ends up bouncing it, and again, Kimberly's able to get to the edge and break contain against Appleton North's defense. Appleton North's defense is going to have to force the ball back inside and not get beat on their edges.
Gain 7, second down and 3 on the 31-yard line. 7:15 remaining here in this first quarter. First possession for Kimberly. Pass is incomplete. He was looking for Winnick. He's a big guy. He's very athletic, but unable to haul that one in. In on the coverage was Sam Tao.
Yeah, and Joey, they're daring Martzel to throw the ball. I mean, they're playing their normal five-man front, 3-4 defense, but they have the safety in the box. So really, there's 8 guys in a box, 1 high safety, and it's Sam Thau against Connor Wennick. Now, one-on-one against Wennick hasn't worked all year by any team trying to play defense. But when Martzel's in the game at quarterback, they're going to dare him to throw it.
Now it's Pendleton back in the shotgun formation. He'll take it and hand it to Frazier. Running room on the near side. He's got some blockers across midfield. Finally knocked out of bounds, but a first down, a big third down pickup. Pushed out of bounds by Braden Goemerick and into lightning territory at the 47-yard line.
Again, Frazier able to break contain, get outside of the farthest outside defender of Appleton North. Great job blocking by the fullback and the tight end on the edge. And again, Kimberly gets a first down because they out-execute and outperform offensively against Appleton North's defense.
First and 10 on the 47. Clock stops with 7:03 left to play here in this first quarter. First possession by Kimberly. North unable to do anything on their first one. Again, Pendleton takes the snap, and we got a flag before, and it's going to be a false start on Kimberly, their first penalty. So back them up, back into their own territory again. A lot of flags here early on by both sides.
We've seen Kimberly throughout the playoffs really go to a lot of these 2 tight end looks where obviously they have Mitch Bartle already as one of their tight ends, but they bring in Brett Peroni as the other tight end. And that formation, double tight, double fullback, really 22 personnel look has been a great formation for them. Now, they spread it out a little bit more in traditional 21.
7:02 on the clock. First and 15 now on their own 48. Pendleton takes it himself, ran into his blocker, and has to fall down. He might have even lost a yard. That might go down officially as a sack. Just a little miscommunication there. That did not look like a well-drawn-up play.
Yeah, it's a broken play. I don't know if Pendleton was supposed to just give it. Looked like the receivers were were blocking. So you would think that's just a give to Frazier. I haven't seen a designed run for Pendleton yet this year, so I would highly doubt that was Coach Jones calling Pendleton's number.
I have 8 attempts for 16 yards on the season for Mr. Pendleton, so I doubt that was the call. But you never know. Try and trick things up here. Level 3 of the playoffs.
Martzel back at quarterback.
2nd and 16, and this time a timeout is taken by Kimberly with 6:12 left to play here in quarter number 1. No score on our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream game of the week. Gives us time to tell you about another fine sponsor for us here. It is Midwest Workwear. Tell old man Winter to take a hike because Carhartt and Midwest Workwear have you covered. Open under new ownership, still at the same great location in downtown Kaukauna. They offer the lowest prices on Carhartt in the state, guaranteed. Don't let the winter blues get you down. Gear up with the largest selection of Carhartt workwear, including high visibility, flame resistant, and rain gear. Give Midwest Workwear a call today to learn more about their corporate programs or visit MidwestWorkwear.com. Stay safe, be comfortable, shop Midwest Workwear. Here in the first quarter, no score. And what do you think they're saying there in this timeout? Why was that one called, Coach?
You know, it's interesting. I haven't really seen formationally. Frazier splits out a lot of times when Martzel's in at quarterback, but normally they motion him, and they just lined him up at wide receivers. I don't know if they're formationally not lined up correct, would be my guess.
It is 2nd and 16 on the 47-yard line. Here is Martzel. Breaks one defender, spins his way across up to about the 41-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and manageable now with the clock running just under 6 minutes left to play in the first.
Joey, if Appleton North is going to win the game, that just can't happen. I mean, when there's a tight end lined up next to the tackle, they walk up their overhang. So they're playing a 3-4 defense, similar to what you see on Sundays with the Packers. Think of it as Zadarius Smith. Zadarius Smith walks up right on top of the tight end. But when there's no tight end, that guy plays in space. And right now when he's in space, he's getting beat to the edge every time. And those are big gains for Kimberly in the run game.
Martzel will take it himself, jumping over a couple of guys and up to the 35-yard line.
They got to treat
that 6-yard
fullback.
Carry. That's good for a first down.
Sorry, Joey. They
right.
have to treat that fullback as a tight end. So essentially, if you're watching at home, a lot of times Kimberly plays the tight end to one side, the fullback to the other side. The fullback's off the ball. So when he's off the ball, he can be a lead blocker. He can move around. But formationally, he's a tight end. That's what he is. And they have to widen their overhangs out, or they're going to keep getting beat on the edge and playing right to Kimberly's strength.
1st and 10 on the 35-yard line, right at 5 minutes and counting remaining. Martzel, deep pass, looking for Frazier in the double coverage. That falls incomplete. Not sure what he saw there. They're lucky that one wasn't picked off.
Well, again, Joey, I mean, Alex Martzel's one of the best running backs in the state, and they're playing him at quarterback. And look at that play, right? And Thau does a great job of covering it. He actually undercuts the route, trying to pick it off. In the ball sails on Martzel. But on 1st and 10, that's when I want to take the shot and scare the defense a little bit, that Martzel might actually throw it.
He does have 300 yards passing on the season. This time taking it himself. Tucks it under with the left hand. And pushed out of bounds there
Joey,
by Wilson Zuck for Appleton North.
They got beat to the edge again, and that time the tight end and the fullback are to the same side. So if you're the outside linebacker, your only job is to not let anything outside you and force the ball back inside. And again, that's 9 yards, right? 9 yards on 2nd down to make this 3rd and 1 and very manageable for Kimberly.
Zuck is their leading tackler on the season, coming in with 83 of them. Put up another one right there. Here's the give. Frazier stuffed right at the line. This is going to be close. Had to get to the 25. What foot is going to be given for the referee? It is close. Did he get it by the nose? Yes, he did. Move the chains. 1st down for Kimberly. Boy, that was close. Is that a favorable spot? What do you think?
Well, I think North did a good job of defending him, but truthfully, I mean, he needed less than half a yard. So, you know, if Kimberly's line gets any movement, they're going to get that first down. And I think that's what happened.
Clock winding down at 3:45 remaining. First and 10 on the 25. First possession here for Kimberly, a long one. Both teams holding the ball quite a bit on their first possession.
Wide and out.
There's Martzel on the keeper. The fake to Frazier. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage right at the 25-yard line for his stuff. So it'll be second down and 10 with 3:20 left to play.
Yeah, great job by number 91, Max Carpenter. And if you're watching at home, there are a couple players. Max Carpenter, number 91, he's a senior. And then number 92, Wes King, who's a sophomore. Those two along the defensive line for Appleton North, you are going to see their number all night. They are two of the best, in my opinion, in the conference. And Wes King, if you're watching that big guy in the middle of the defense in white there, he's only a sophomore. I think we're going to hear his name a lot the next 2 years.
Total of 75 tackles between the two of them coming into this one. Martzel cuts it back and gains about 4. So it's going to be third down on the 21-yard line. 3rd and 6 with 2.5 minutes left to play in this first quarter.
Yeah, so basically just inside zone or outside zone, depending on how you look at it. And the line's trying to move horizontal, but the way that you can blow that play up is really what North's defensive line is doing, is getting penetration. And it's a great job again by the overhang, I think number 31 for Appleton North, of just getting penetration, Liam Kate, and shutting that play down. This is a big play, Joey. 3rd and 7. Martzel again in at quarterback.
Winnick in motion. He almost got the snap. Instead, Martzel takes it himself. Dives up to the 12. Gain of 9. It'll be first down and 10 for Kimberly on another third down conversion. They keep this first drive going.
Yeah, really good look. The jet sweep fake comes from Winnick. So Winnick ends up widening out the overhang. But again, truthfully, the overhang doesn't need to move because there's an extra corner over there. So really what you see is the motions and the different formations are just forcing some miscommunication and misalignment by Appleton North and are leading to some of the big plays by Kimberly.
Snap taken by Martzel, lobs it in the air for Winnick. One-handed, grabbed it, he get it. Touchdown, but there is a flag on the play. No, they're saying incomplete. Oh, boy, what an athletic move, though, by Winnick.
It's interesting, Joey, because he's got the ball in his hand, so he didn't catch it?
I thought he did.
So did I. And pass interference, so it's not going to matter.
Wow. Into double coverage. He jumps up. My goodness. He's going to Air Force, right?
Yeah, there's the only.
They are getting a treasure.
The only way. Yeah, they might throw the ball more at Air Force when they get him. No, the only way to defend Connor Winnick is you have to run 2 players at him. And teams have made the mistake of trying to single cover him. Appleton North did at times the first time they played him. And it's just not possible. He is too good of a player, and very few teams have a corner that can match up with him, at least at this level.
First and goal on the 6-yard line after the penalty. Here's Frazier doing what he does. Oh, man, that was close. They're going to mark him just shy. You cannot get closer than this. Wait till you see where they mark the football. The nose is an inch away from that white line.
It's interesting. I mean, the formation for me where Kimberly has just ran and had so much success is this double tight, double fullback look. And that's just 2 fullbacks leading through the hole. And the push from the Kimberly offensive line, they make it easy for Frazier.
He's once again set up next to Martzel. He gets it, dives forward, and for the 30th time this season, Caleb Frazier crosses the goal line. 6-0 Kimberly.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in, what is it, a nose, Joey? You said it's a nose away from the goal line. When you're that close, any movement by the Kimberly offensive line, which they got plenty of movement, is going to equal touchdown Kimberly. And Frazier, again, now the 30th time with another touchdown.
And the kick is up. It is good. So with 46 seconds left to play here in this first quarter, Kimberly strikes first. It is 7-0 Papermakers. Hey, got to tell you about Tanner's Grill. I want to thank everybody who are watching, actually. I'm told that people are streamed in and watching on the big screens
That's good.
at Tanner's Grill tonight. So thanks for tuning in. Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly, a proud Papermaker booster. They invite you to Tanner's after tonight's playoff contest or during it for your post-game meal or in-game meal. Check out their full menu at tannersgrillandbar.com. Be sure to book the Tanner's bus for all the upcoming green and gold games this season, including this coming Sunday against Carolina. Tanner's Sports Grill, 730 South Railroad in Kimberly. We can almost hit it with a stone from here.
Hey, they might be the smartest people, Joey. So they're watching Kimberly,
Yeah.
and they're listening to us, and they're in the warmth. They're not sitting out in the stands. Oh, man, those people got it figured out.
Not freezing their booties off.
If only we could have broadcast from there, huh?
You know what? We probably could have made that happen.
Oh, next time.
Yeah, it's a little chilly.
In the press box. That's what's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Cuts right through. So I give all these parents and grandparents and brothers and sisters, I give you a ton of credit right now because my toes are frozen and it's the first quarter.
I'm not against winter, all right? I love all 4 seasons, but when it comes before it's even Halloween, it's a little early. Here we go. Second possession for Appleton North, and they will start it on their own 35-yard line with 40 seconds left to play in quarter number 1. In need of professional flatwork concrete for an upcoming new or home improvement project? It's not too early to call your concrete specialist at Dan Wellhouse and Sons. And you can call them for an estimate, 759-1532. 759-1532. Dan Wellhouse and Sons, a proud sponsor of Kimberly football here this evening. Stuffed right at the line of scrimmage, moving backwards to the 34 was Martini.
It's interesting, Joey. Number 99, which I don't see a number 99 on Appleton North's roster, comes in the game and he plays tight end, but he's lined up to the 3 receiver side. So that means he cannot go out for a route. He's a dead receiver. So it's interesting. They're bringing him in basically as an extra blocker, but they're using the 3 receivers as like option players basically if they're going to throw the ball.
Throwing the ball again, a little bit more time, and it's intercepted. Picked off. Knocked out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. And Kimberly will have good field position. DeAndre Williams, their leading defensive player, he comes up with the interception.
Yeah, DeAndre Williams, number 44, does a great job at inside linebacker, getting depth and getting underneath the slant route. And North runs a lot of inward cutting routes. You know, so their quarterback is going to look in the middle of the field for a lot of his completions. And DeAndre Williams is a junior. Let me tell you, he has improved so much throughout the year. And really, every game you watch him, he seems to get better and better and better to the point that he just stands out. He just absolutely stands out on tape. And I've had Kimberly 5 times this year, Joey. And I'm telling you, he might be one of the better linebackers I've seen all year.
7-0 Kimberly, back after this.
A century is made up of minutes, but more importantly, of moments. Moments of hard work, dedication, challenges, and triumphs. From Myron Construction, the past 100 years were built by the steady hands of tradespeople who laid a strong foundation, and continues to thrive because of our passionate team members. As we close this significant chapter of our history, our sights are set on what we will accomplish together in the years to come, because together we'll continue building excellence.
As we bring it back here to Kimberly, the announcer just wishing a happy birthday to the interceptor. How about that? What a way to celebrate here. Level 3 of the playoffs, and you get an interception. Flag on the play here as we start quarter number 2, 7-0 Kimberly. And it looks like they're backing up. Another false start on Kimberly, their second penalty here to begin their second drive of the game.
So, Joey, you're saying that was a present from Sheckelman. That's what you're
guess
saying?
So.
I guess.
There you go.
Yeah, DeAndre Williams did a great job of getting underneath that route again. And again, as you're watching the game at home, if you have it on your screen, I mean, number 44, number 42, one of their other inside linebackers, Zach Arndt, they're two players to really watch because they stand out when you watch defensively.
Looking at the stats, I don't see an interception on the season for Williams, but he does lead the team in tackles. Taking it himself is Martel. Spinning his way up inside the 15-yard line, getting some of that yardage back from the false start.
Yeah, really good play to get some of that yardage back, like you said, Joey. I mean, that's basically quarterback power. I know Alex Martzel's playing quarterback. He's a running back. I get it. But they faked the sweep to Connor Wennick, and that's a designed run by Martzel. So really good run. They've had success with it. They've hit it for a couple of big plays already tonight.
6 on that one. Second down and 9. 11:20 on the clock. Ball on the 13-yard line. Just starting quarter number 2. And a timeout is called by Kimberly.
Is that their second, Joey?
I do believe so.
Wow.
7-0. 11:14 left to play here in the first quarter. And I want to thank all of our fine sponsors, including Ace Hardware of Appleton, a proud sponsor to support high school sports, and the Appleton North Lightning. Your neighbors at Ace are here to help you with that next project. Ace Hardware of Appleton, you'll find window treatment kits, LED lighting, a wide selection of shovels, salt, tools, plumbing, grills, and a whole lot more. Plus, you'll save even more with your Ace Rewards card. When you want the service you need, you have to shop Ace Hardware of Appleton. Close, convenient parking. Shop Ace Hardware of Appleton on 00 and Appleton, proud supporter of high school sports. Here it is, 7-0. Kimberly, and I believe you're right, that was their second time out, so only one left, and we still got 11:14 to play here in the first half. That's interesting. We'll see what was called. This the toss to Winnick. Still on his feet, charging towards the pylon, and he's in. A 9-yard touchdown run by Connor Winnick makes it 13-0 Kimberly. Boy, they made that look way too easy. Whatever he called in the timeout, it worked.
You know, Joy, I know, I mean, if you've been listening, if you've been watching at home, I mean, I've said it probably 10 times. You can't get beat on the outside, and that sounds easy, right? It sounds like contain the ball, force it inside. But in that formation, there is only one wide receiver. He goes in motion. They hand the ball to him. They run a sweep to him. And someone has to set the edge. Until that happens, Kimberly is going to run all over Appleton North.
Kick is up, and it is good. So your new score with 11:07 left to play here in the first quarter. Kimberly has scored on both of their possessions here in the first half. So let's just tell you about another fine sponsor. Let's go back to Midwest Workwear. Tell old man Winter to take a hike because Carhartt and Midwest Workwear have you covered. Open under new ownership, still at the same great location, downtown Kaukauna. Lowest prices on Carhartt in the state, guaranteed. Don't let the winter blues get you down. Gear up with the largest selection of Carhartt workwear, including high visibility, flame resistant, and rain gear. Give Midwest Workwear a call today to learn more about their corporate programs. Visit MidwestWorkwear.com. Stay safe, be comfortable, shop Midwest Workwear. 14-0 now, and points off of turnovers. You cannot give anybody in the game of football, especially at this level, and especially a team named Kimberly, any extra opportunities. That's what Appleton North just did, and they took advantage of it.
No, and Joey, this is a script of how the first game went. I mean, North was able to move the ball. North made mistakes. North shot themselves in the foot, and they get behind the 8 ball. And I'm telling you, you cannot get behind in down and distance on the road against Kimberly, and you for sure can't get down by 2 scores. When that happens, you put Kimberly in a position where, I hate to say it, there's no other way to say it, they're going to step right on your throat. I mean, that's what they do, and you've seen it. And again, it's easy to say, for me, standing up here in the box to say, widen your overhangs out and force the ball back inside and contain the edge. But when Will Hammond's running at you, lead blocking, and when Mitch Bartle's blocking down on the defensive end, I mean, it's easier said than done. But if North doesn't make those adjustments, Joey, it's going to be the same fate they got earlier this year.
Boy, you can see the wind have an effect definitely on that one. It just really started to whip up there. Ball is taken.
That's the worst wind, is the swirling wind like that.
Oh, you can see it. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but, yeah, you can. Look at that. It's just blowing right across. It's not necessarily, well, it may be snowing just a little bit, but
you really see
snow
it.
that is down there on the far end zone is just blowing all the way across the field.
Yeah, Joe, you're right. I mean, you really see it up by the lights. If you look up by the lights, that wind and maybe a little bit of snow and those conditions, I hate to say it, but with the way Kimberly runs the ball, those conditions favor Kimberly.
So North will have it for the third time for this game. 1st and 10 on their own 28-yard line. A quick pass, and it falls incomplete as he was looking for Funky. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. And again, every time that they've had the football, just kind of the quick tosses here from Scheckelman.
Kimberly's defense really, I mean, they're daring North to continue to throw those screens. I mean, yes, they are 3-on-3 to the trips that you see to the bottom of the screen, but they're not all up on the line either.
This time they'll try and run the football, and nothing doing on the right side. A late flag coming in. You could see the wind blowing the flag as soon as the referee tossed it into the air.
I think that's on Kimberly, Joey, and if that is a big mental mistake.
Yeah, it is going to go. He was pointing towards Kimberly.
Yeah,
personal foul.
I couldn't see the number, but I saw it happen.
Was it after the play?
Yeah.
Late in the play, at least.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of a late flag. They'll move it ahead. That is going to be a 1st down for North as they keep walking forward to the 45-yard line with 10:48 left to play here in this first half.
Two-back look for Appleton North. First time I've seen him go gun split backs today.
Scheckelman, little screen pass, and they sniff it out. The toss to Martini, and they were all over that one.
It's Zach Arndt, one of the players I mentioned earlier in the game. And again, I want to mention Arndt and I want to mention Williams because, number one, Caleb Oberman, who's the Defensive Player of the Year in the conference, is out for the year with injury. And replacing him is easier said than done, right? But Arndt and Williams, again, have been up for the task, and big stop there on the screenplay on 1st down.
Arndt 41 tackles coming into this one. You mentioned Oberman, 83, just behind Williams. And out for this one. It's 2nd and 10 on the 45-yard line. Again, a quick pass. This time to the far sideline, up to midfield. And that's complete to Alex Heron. So some positive yardage on the quick pass again. They will mark it just across the 50, it looks like, on about the 49-yard line.
Yeah, and you're watching at home, you're thinking, oh, you're so close to getting that interception, or how you can't knock that ball down. And what you see to the trip side is you see one guy pressing, usually against the guy that's on the line of scrimmage. So in this case, number 13. But everyone else is playing off. So it's going to look closer than it really is, but North can throw that screen all day.
Scheckelman incomplete. A hard hit, but he was looking for Isaiah Gonzalez. I think he knew he was going to get. Usually he probably catches that one, but he sniffed out some footsteps there. And it'll be 4th down. North is going to be forced to punt. Good thing is they do have the wind at their back. So we'll see how far this one goes. As you can see once again on your screen probably, the wind is really whipping right to left.
Yeah, Joey, you're just trained when you see hits like that to look for flags. And I thought it was a clean hit, but it was definitely up around the head and shoulder area. Unfortunately, really, Scheckelman led him right into that. I don't know if that's the throw he really wanted to make on 3rd and 5 in that tight window like that, leading him into the safety.
Low snap, but a high, booming punt. Diving forward to catch it and see where they mark it. But there's 9:02 left to play here in this first half. 14-0 Kimberly, and they will take over. And that gives us time to tell you about our friends at Tanner's Grill once again. Tanner Sports Grill in Kimberly, a proud Papermaker booster, invites you to Tanner's after tonight's playoff contest. For your post-game meal, check out their full menu at tannersgrillandbar.com. Be sure to book the Tanner's bus for all their upcoming green and gold games this season. Tanner's Sports Grill, 730 South Railroad in Kimberly. Our friend Zach is on the scene. A lot of other games going on, by the way. We haven't told you who the winner of this one will play, either Bayport or Marquette. We'll try and get some other scores as the night rolls along. Kimberly takes over 1st and 10 on their own 17-yard line. And Martz gain about 3, 2nd down and 7. Our friend Zach is at West Appear, where Menasha has a 14-0 on West Appear, one of many local teams in action. Winner of this one gets Bayport and Marquette. The other side has Madison Memorial and Sun Prairie, Muskego and Franklin going at it. As we're just about down to it, 2 weeks from now, hopefully, we'll be down to Madison covering at least one or two of our local teams. Here it is, 2nd and 7 on the 20-yard line with 8:15 remaining in this first half. Martzel, ankle tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Nice job there, brought down by Wilson Zuck, the leading tackler for North.
It was a lot better job that time, Joey. The fullback motions, blocks out and tries to kick out the overhang. It was number 53, which is Sebastian Hayes. And Sebastian Hayes forced the ball back inside. Because he forces the ball back inside, the linebackers are able to get over the top and tackle Martzel really for a 2-3 yard gain. Those are the type of plays North has to win, because otherwise they're going to see those big gains that have, Kimberly's had so far through a quarter and a half.
They've converted on a lot of the 3rd down so far in their first couple of possessions. Can they do it again? No, this one is incomplete. Would have been a 1st down at the 30. That pass was intended for Jack Kiefer. Instead, the first 3 and out for Kimberly, and if you're North, got to feel pretty good about that.
You're right, Joey. I mean, Kimberly's executed and hit every 3rd down, right? They haven't punted yet.
Yeah.
But Pendleton has an open receiver, and we talked about this early in the year. Would Pendleton need to make throws in the playoffs for them to win games? Now, so far he hasn't had to, but that's an open receiver that he loses right away, and if he gets the ball to him quicker, that's 1st down.
See what the wind does to this one. It's blocked. It is a live football. And it rolls out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
That is a huge play, Joey. Really good pressure inside. Basically beat the block of the guard. It was hard to see what number that was. He blocks it clean, almost gets to scoop and score. The ball bounces all the way to the 2, and Appleton North gets the break that they needed to get back into this game.
1st and goal on the 2 with 7:15 left to play in this first half. Down by a couple of scores, but knocking on the door. Here come the Lightning.
3 backs out of shotgun.
Takes it, Martini. Left side, pushing forward. Into the end zone. Touchdown. North is on the scoreboard on a 2-yard touchdown run by Martini.
Yeah, good luck trying to tackle Martini with 2 lead blockers, 2 fullbacks, plus a tight end to that side. That's just a lot of big bodies lead blocking for Martini. He gets the 2 yards that he needs, and North gets a huge touchdown that they needed to make this a game again in the 2nd quarter.
Martini, for him, his 12th touchdown on the season. Flags flying before the kick. And it's going to go on Kimberly. So move it ahead just a little bit.
Make it a little bit easier, right?
Well, he made it. See, I don't understand on that. If just let the play go, and then they can decide whether they want to take it or re-kick it. But it's the rules. You got to re-kick it, I guess. Boy, some of that snow is starting to blow into our window here.
For the people watching at home, if you haven't seen Appleton North yet, what I will tell you is they are a talented, athletic, young team. Martini is only a sophomore.
That one is no good. So it was good, but so the penalty ends up
They iced him,
helping
Joey. They iced him.
Kimberly. Oh, wow.
Yeah, Joey, that ball came off really low. I think you and I could have blocked that one. Well, maybe not. You could have. You're taller than me.
I don't know. That
it would have hit
football
Adam
tonight,
for
I
sure.
don't know if I could block a rock. It's got to be a rock tonight.
Our cameraman, Adam, is a tall guy. I think he could have got that one.
Hey, you need a professional flatwork concrete for an upcoming new home improvement project? It's not too early to call your concrete specialists. How about Dan Wellhouse and Sons? Call them at 759-1532. They're committed to providing a quality services to their customers and believe that reputation as an honest and reliable business is the recipe for success. See all their concrete services at wellhouseconcrete.com or call 759-1532. Dan Wellhouse and Sons. Proud Kimberly booster wishes the Papermakers good luck in today's game. Got a little bit of good luck there because first extra point was good. Had a penalty called on them, and then the next one was no good. So, still a one-possession game, but 14-6. And we got ourselves a ball game. We've been talking about it all night long. This weather, how much of it, what's it do to a football? You were a coach
that
for
thing's
a long
a
time.
rock. I mean, that thing's a rock. For a kicker, you try to loosen that ball up as much as you can, but it is a rock, Joey.
Here's Fraser on the goal line, brings it out to about the 17-yard line.
I can't believe he caught that. There's a line drive. It almost goes over his head. He reaches back like Willie Mays and catches it. He gets a decent return. I guess when you're Caleb Frazier, you just want the ball as much as you can.
When you're coaching, coldest you ever coached in, do you remember? Like just shuddering, what are we doing out here?
Honest to God, Joey, practice.
Oh, really?
There was a practice at UW Oshkosh, this time of year, right? Like it gets dark at 4 o'clock, and we'd be out on the grass fields, barely any light, at times. And there was a day, I swear to you, it snowed probably during practice 3 inches. And, you're in tennis shoes. You're not smart enough to put on boots and run around in practice. And I couldn't feel my toes, Joey, for like a day and a half.
That's kind of the conditions they're facing here this evening. A lot of adrenaline, though, and these guys are young. There's Frazier up to the 21, gain of about 4. 6:56 the clock stops at here in quarter number 2.
Well, that's the thing, Joey. As a coach, you're doing all you're doing is standing around. I mean, there's adrenaline going, nervousness, a whole bunch of stuff. But you do a lot of standing. There ain't much running for you.
I saw some of the guys down there pregame. I don't know if they're just trying to act tough or trying to, mentally get into it, but doing the old showing the ribs, showing some skin. I'm like, dude.
Our O-line used to always say no sleeves, no sleeves.
Yeah.
I say no arms by the time you're done here, buddy.
You're not going to be able to feel them.
Joey, these last 2 plays, Sebastian Hayes, again, the overhang, number 53 for Appleton North, has done a great job of forcing the ball back inside. Now, he missed a tackle on Frazier on first down, but he slowed him down enough that North was able to pursue and make the tackle. Again, big play based on how North has defended the first 2 plays. Now you got him in a 3rd and about 5. These are the positions North has to put Kimberly in.
Zuck again credited with that tackle.
Yeah, he's a good player, Joey. He stood out so far tonight. Number 31, I believe.
33.
Oh, 33?
Yep. 3rd and 5 on the 22 with exactly 6 minutes left to play here.
Oh,
the little dump pass to Frazier, wide open. One guy couldn't trip him. Into North territory, finally does get tripped up from behind, but a big-time pickup for Frazier, and again a 3rd down conversion, and Kimberly is in action again.
Joey, that is a huge play call, that screen pass, and letting the pressure get to Pendleton, letting Zuck, again, in that case, blitz, put pressure on Pendleton, and Pendleton waits just long enough to dump it over the top of Zuck's head, get it to Frazier, get a huge, huge gain, and really a play Kimberly, well, they've executed all year plays like this, but a play that they needed to get the momentum back there going their way.
1st and 10 on the 24 with 5:35 and counting here in this first half, and you see the snow again blowing right to left there on your screen, and if you can see it on the screen, you know it is really, really whipping. Pendleton will give to Martel. Spins his way for a couple of yards. Keeps the clock going with 5:10 and counting here in this first half. 14-6 as Kimberly scoring on a Frazier 1-yard run and a Winnick 9-yard run. North on their last possession, a Martini 2-yard run, but the extra point was blocked. That's where we sit with 4:50 and counting here in this first half. Pendleton, little play action. Going right side, looking for Winnick. The duck is in the air, and he can't catch up to it, throwing into that wind. And even a good receiver like Connor Winnick couldn't get that one.
Yeah, good route by Winnick, good double move, but really with the length of that throw, just too hard for Pendleton to get the ball out to him. What's interesting, Joey, is really in the playoffs so far this year, whether it's Neenah or Wisconsin Rapids, they've defended Neenah differently depending on, obviously, if Martzel's playing quarterback or Pendleton. North is really defending him the same way. They're forcing Martzel when he's in there at quarterback. They're daring him to throw, but they're also staying in the same base defense because they can give some help if Pendleton's in there, obviously knowing he's more of a thrower. Now, they're not honoring him as a running threat, though, so if he did keep the ball, he's probably going to run for a lot of yards, Joey.
And Kimberly will take a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well. 14-6 with 4:41 left to play here in this first half. Back after this.
Make the blue one happen. Or maybe the white one happen. Make that was easy happen. Make we can take my new car happen. And definitely make double takes in the garage happen. When it's time to upgrade your ride, Fox helps you make life happen. Visit one of 22 Fox locations or apply online at foxcu.org so you can make "Hey, I feel good in this car" happen.
Fox Communities Credit Union.
Back here in Kimberly, where home team trying to score. Once again, they are up 14-6. Thanks to all of our sponsors. You see them there on your screen. Fox Communities Credit Union, Dan Wellhouse, Myron, Ace, Midwest, Creative Imprint, Julian, Tanner's Grill, all a part of the broadcast tonight. This is exactly where Kimberly wants to be, third down.
So far today.
They have converted on a lot of them. Can they do it again? Martzel gonna be just shy, so it's 4th down. Big call here. What do you think?
I think that is the perfect call, knowing that you're going for it on 4th down. Get half the yards, put yourself in a good position. And Kimberly has a good field goal kicker, but based on this wind, you're not kicking a 37-yard field goal.
No.
I don't care who you have a kicker. Well, Mason Crosby, maybe you might make it, but
I don't even know if he would make it. Seriously,
I don't.
It is really blowing hard.
I was just going to say, I mean, you can see it a little bit on screen, but we're not overplaying it. That wind is swirling down there.
Winnick in motion. Martzel takes it, tosses it to him, and he can't catch it. It'll be a turnover on downs. North will get it back. Just
stop.
A little soft toss. You hardly ever see Winnick not catch a little soft toss like that. What happened? Is it just because of the conditions?
Well, again, if that ball's a rock for a kicker, it ain't much better for a quarterback or a wide receiver. So, again, people talk about the weather a lot, whether it's, cold weather games or wet games. They talk about being able to run the ball, and partially because you just want to get the ball in someone's hands securely. And to be honest with you, Joey, even if he completes that pass, I don't know if he gets the first down.
Ball fired across from Scheckelman. Looking for Funky and had to dive for it. Couldn't come up with it. It'll be 2nd and 10 as they take over on their 18-yard line with 3:52 as the clock stops here in the second quarter.
Yeah, right when we say that, what does North do? They come out and throw the ball.
Yeah. They do have the wind at their back, but still.
They do, but it's still a rock.
Shuckleman again, the quick toss. Funky again. This time he does catch it. Nice hands across the 35-yard line. And that's going to move the chains. 1st and 10 on the nice quick just in route there.
Great read by Shuckleman. Even better play call, really, by the coach to catch Kimberly in cover 2. That window is thrown right behind Weagle, right in front of the safety.
The no huddle with 3.5 minutes left to play. Again, Funky with the catch. Across the 40 to 42-yard line. Seems to be his favorite target here this evening.
Yeah, and that's just a quick slant by the number 1 receiver. The number 2 receiver's on the ball. He runs a vertical route to clear it out. It really becomes like a screen. And they hit it for about 5 yards. It's just like a running play, as Mike Holmgren would say.
It really is, yeah. Pump fake. Ooh, threw into some coverage there, and Funky or Heron can't come up with it.
He found the window against cover 2 on 1st down, right? But he threw that ball to the field. When you're throwing the ball into the boundary like that, the short side of the field, the safety has less distance to get over the top, and that safety almost made a big play and a big turnover for Kimberly. It's a big play for Appleton North here.
Stops at 3:09 remaining here in this first half. 3rd down and 5 on their own 42-yard line. Looking for the screen. Martini tipped up in the air, and it is incomplete.
2-back again, Joey. Both times they've been in that formation, they have ran a screen to Martini. Both times tackled for loss, and now almost an interception as that ball was bouncing off Arndt's head, off of his helmet. Should have just grabbed it like David Tyree. Would have been a touchdown.
Zach Arndt wishes he had that one back.
He just didn't know it was on his head. He didn't know it was bouncing on his head. Oh, it's too bad for Appleton North. That was a big, really 2nd and 5. They're in 2nd and 5 and couldn't execute on 3rd or 4th down.
3:03 left here in this first half, and they've got the wind at their back. A high, booming punt towards the far sideline. That will go out of bounds as Max Sanderfoot was going to go over and try and get it, but it'll go out of bounds, so Kimberly will have it with 2:55 left to play. It'll be 1st and 10. We'll see exactly where they mark this football. But one opportunity there for North as they had a good defensive stop but couldn't make anything out of it.
Yeah, they've done a good job defensively of, making some adjustments or maybe just performing, within the defensive scheme the way they need to and containing Kimberly's run game the last couple drives, but you got to execute on offense.
There's a run up the left hash marks. And Frazier works his way up to about the 24-yard line. Good 4-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Clock runs with 2.5 minutes left to play in this first half.
A little bit of a personnel change here. Looks like they're going 4 wide receivers. First time I've seen Kimberly in really a spread look today.
Pendleton with the screen. Frazier's got it. It works. He's got a 1st down. Tackled across the 35-yard line.
Penalty
Taken
flag.
down there by Braden Goimrak.
Got a flag down, though, Joey.
And a hold. We will bring it back. You do see a lot of that on screenplays. You'll see a lot of holding, won't you?
Yeah, and honestly, I don't want to say it was telegraphed, but that's one of those, you haven't seen them go in a spread look yet today, and they run the ball on 1st down. They sub a bunch of guys in, and really the guys they subbed in, they're not throwing the ball to. Really all year they haven't thrown them to those receivers. That's, to me, a screen formation, and I think the inside linebacker read it really well, and I think he's the guy that ended up getting held. I believe, again, Zuck was in on the play and got held.
So after the penalty, right at the 2-minute warning here of the first half, they'll mark it on the 21-yard line, 2nd down and 9. Clock continues to run. Pendleton in the shotgun formation. He'll drop back to pass. A quick one out to Winnick. Has to jump to get it. And he does. Stays in bounds, so the clock will continue to run. Does gain a couple of yards, but exactly 90 seconds left to play until halftime. And it's going to be third down. Third and about 4. And they do not have a timeout left.
You just
North has all
wonder-
3 of theirs.
You just wonder why Appleton North isn't using a timeout here to try to get the ball back.
Yeah, especially this deep in the territory, but Kimberly will take it. Tick, 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 tick. We're down to exactly a minute now. The play clock has to be getting short.
Sweep.
Winnick has some blockers, has a first down. Positive territory up to the 43-yard line. And again, guess what? Third down pickup for Kimberly.
Going to clock it. There you go.
And then they will throw it into the ground. Since they don't have any timeouts left, they had to do that. Didn't even have the chains moved yet, but
Joey, and I get it. I mean, you're at Kimberly. It's 14-6. If you can get in at halftime, great, right? You're within a touchdown. But, if you're Appleton North and you're on the road and you lost to Kimberly by 20-plus points the first time, I'm sorry. You take a timeout defensively. Make sure you're lined up correctly and give yourself a position to get the ball back. Now, it doesn't matter because Kimberly ended up getting the first down. But Appleton North's going to have to take their shots here at times. And that, to me, was a chance. That was an opportunity to take a shot to try to get the ball back.
First down.
Second down. He spiked it.
Yep, 2nd and 10 there on the 43. Winnick into double coverage, and he cannot grab a hold of it. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 on the 40, or with 41 seconds left on the 43-yard line.
It's
so
hard.
If North can get a stop here, that's when you call a timeout.
Yeah, it's hard to see, obviously, on the screen, that throw and that attempted catch. But Pendleton threw that ball in a perfect window against Thau, the corner, with the safety trying to get over the top. It was right off Winnick's hands. And, again, I don't want to say Winnick should have caught it because it was a very difficult throw. But I don't think unless you're watching this game live, you don't see how great of a throw that was by Pendleton. On an incomplete pass, how great of a throw that really was.
He's only a sophomore. Got to keep that in mind, too.
Frazier split out here to the bottom of the screen.
Flag
Do they
flies.
have too many people on the field? I think they got 12.
He's counting.
Yeah.
Yep. Boy, you could just see the face of Steve Jones. He starts walking up the sideline. Just, what are you doing, guys?
Yeah, the receiver number 14 I don't think was supposed to be out there. That's a 2 tight end, 2 fullback look, and the receiver really is Frazier. So I don't know. Somehow someone didn't sub in correctly. Caleb Frazier is counting again right now.
I've got 3 penalties on each team here in this first half.
There's a ton of confusion right now in that huddle.
They do not have a timeout, so they got to get this play
There you
going
go.
or they're going to mark off another 5. 41 seconds left to play. Clock is stopped. 3rd and 16 on the 37-yard line.
You just expect some sort of run-pass option here to keep the clock going for Kimberly.
It'll be Martzel to pass. Across the middle and fall short of Frazier. Way short.
Interesting play call, Joey. Clock stops. North doesn't even have to use a timeout.
Yeah.
And now you're in a position, especially if we remember, right? North got a ton of penetration and blocked a punt earlier in the game.
On a 3rd and 16, isn't that where you try and go for a screen? We've seen do screens all night long. At least it would keep the clock going.
That's why I thought, especially
Yeah.
with Martzel and a quarterback, I thought you'd see some sort of run-pass option where if nothing's open, he can run it and keep the clock going and force North to use a timeout.
Into the wind. That one just dies midair. It went nowhere once it got up into that wind. Bounces out of bounds. There'll be 26 seconds left here on the clock. They do have all 3 timeouts. Down 14-6. North will take over on their own. Where are they going to mark this one? On their own 38-yard line.
Can't really underplay how difficult it is to kick in these conditions. I mean, a field goal really isn't an option, and you could tell based on hearing the sound of that ball off Peroni's foot, even up here in the box, how hard that ball sounded when he kicked it.
26 seconds left. A quick pass. It is incomplete. He was looking for Jack Kreitzer.
Not really sure what they were trying to accomplish there. Really,
Well,
almost.
again, they do have all 3 timeouts, so you can go over the middle a couple of times if you want to.
Yeah, Joey, but there's 2 guys really in the same line of sight for the quarterback, so I don't know if someone ran the wrong route.
Oh, okay.
But it was – he's like he was knocked down, honestly, by
Yeah.
the other player for Appleton North.
The toss back. That back pass. Kreitzer has it to the 38-yard line. And North has to call a timeout now because they were going to start the clock immediately. But what a call. I don't
Yeah.
think I've seen that all year.
Yeah, and that's a play Appleton North ran against Kimberly in the first meeting. Basically, number 10, we've called his name a couple of times. Alex Heron is in that 2-back look. So remember, 2 backs in the backfield out of shotgun. Both times they've been in that formation, they've ran a screen. This time they run an option. They pitch it to Heron. What people don't know, unless you're looking at the program, is Alex Heron's actually their backup quarterback, and he's left-handed. So they run that option play to that side. Really well-designed play, hit a crossing route to Kreitzer. Joey, they tried that against Kimberly the first time they played. It didn't work as well as that one. So great play call, good concept, and really the play Appleton North needed as we tick away towards the end of the quarter.
16 seconds left. They do have 2 timeouts left now.
I think they're in the same formation, Joey.
They can try a couple of pass plays here if they would like. And they will. Again, looking for Kreitzer and overthrew him. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 on the 38-yard line. Only took 2 seconds. 14 on the clock here in the second quarter.
Yeah, they're playing with fire into that short side of the field. So the field side is going to be the widest side of the field. So if you're watching at home, that's to the bottom of the screen. The boundary side is the short side. You know, if Kimberly's in a cover 2, it's a lot easier for the safety to get over the top into the boundary. Playing with fire, trying to throw in those small windows.
That pass was off the back of the defender. He was looking for Kyle Funke, but well covered on the far sideline. So he was looking left where the 3 wide receivers were, trying to pull the defense that way, but not faked out. It's going to be 3rd and 10 on the 38 with 8 seconds left to play.
Yeah, that's the right read. I mean, the safety to the bottom of to the short side of the field stayed in the middle of the field. And he took the single wide receiver throw, but Griffin Weigel is arguably the best corner in the conference.
Same
He was up to the
formation.
task.
Again, looking left, throwing right for Kreitzer, and that one goes incomplete. So it's 4th and 10 on the 38, but just 4 seconds left to play.
That's a well-designed throwback screen. The problem is the ball really has sailed on Sheckelman at times. He spiked it at times. Really accuracy-wise, he's been all over the place throwing the ball, and that's just another one that ends up in the dirt.
And a timeout is taken with 4 seconds left to play. We'll do a little reset here for you. It's 14-6 Kimberly, as Kimberly scored in the first quarter on a 1-yard run by Frazier. Both teams eating up a lot of clock in that first quarter. And the second quarter is kind of slowed up a little bit. 9-yard run by Connor Winnick on an end around. Then a 2-yard run by Martini after a blocked punt by Appleton North. So Kimberly has scored on a turnover. North has scored on a blocked punt. The moral of the story is don't give the ball to the other team. Eat up as much clock as you can. Here we sit 14-6 with 4 seconds left to play.
Yeah, that turnover, on the block punt, Joey, where North scored the next play, that's really the first mistake we've seen by Kimberly in the playoffs. And obviously what did it lead to? It led to points and keeping North in the game.
4th down and 10 on the 38-yard line. A quick pass. And then they'll pass it back the other way. More trickery. Time has run out. Can he get into the end zone? Answer is no, but
Is there a penalty? There's a flag.
was he already across?
It's got to be a block in the back.
So it was a legal
hold.
double pass there. Yep, it's a holding on North, and that is going to be declined. So A weird, wacky way to end the first half, but that is it.
Yeah.
We come to the end of the first half here in Kimberly, level 3 of the playoffs. What an exciting game we have had. It is Kimberly 14 and Appleton North 6. First half thoughts here, John Dinsey.
Well, I think Kimberly, came out. They ran the ball effectively. They converted on third down. And even when North appeared to, have Kimberly in a position where they were going to make a stop, Kimberly executed. And they drove, and they got a 14-point lead. And then North got the block punt. I think the block punt really was the turning point in the game for North. Something positive happened for North. They scored points, and then their confidence came back. And defensively, they really finished the half and played pretty well. So I think defensively, they have to continue to make plays, set the edge, force the ball back inside, and they're in good shape. Offensively, to be honest with you, Joey, I think Appleton North has to figure out who they are, and I think who they are is give the ball to Cal Martini and run the ball. And they haven't done that enough, in my opinion, especially in the weather conditions.
He's only had a couple carries.
Right. In the weather conditions, the way Kimberly's lining up to the 3 wide receivers, they are saying, we're defending the run, we're going to take Martini away, and North is trying to throw and take advantage of that. The problem is we said it. I mean, the weather conditions are not ideal for throwing the ball down the field and even really for throwing screens. So I would hope that we see Martini touch the ball more and really, pound and ground down the field, because that's what sets up North to be their best. They're their best when they run the ball and they throw the ball off play action.
All right, we have reached the half. It is 14-6. We'll take a timeout here from some of our fine sponsors and then come back and we'll have half number 2 for you. Look around the state of Wisconsin as well at some of the other matchups that we have. Winner here will move on and play either Bayport or Marquette. The other side is Madison Memorial and Sun Prairie, Muskego and Franklin, as we inch closer to Madison. Here, our score, 14-6 at the half. Back after this on our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream game of the week.
Make fenced-in yard happen. Make two-story in town happen. Or ranch in the country happen. Definitely make 2 bathrooms happen. With Fox, make we can afford that one happen. When it's time to decide on your dream home, Fox helps you make life happen. Visit one of 22 Fox locations or apply online today so you can make this is the one happen.
Fox Communities.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
I'm Tom Julian from the Julian Strategic Alliance Group. I'm inviting you to have my team help you develop your personal, estate, and business planning goals. Let us put together comprehensive financial strategies for your success in every season of your life. Contact us today to get started. We're right on the CE Trail in Kimberly. We can help you establish retirement income goals, work with you on your asset protection allocation, and guide you on future income growth strategies. I would like to meet with you to begin the conversation. Call us. Let's get started.
The projects we construct afford us the opportunity to help those in need in more ways than one. And the momentum we create as a team allows us to make an impact greater than any one of us can achieve on our own. We are part of the community. We are where we live. We are Myron Construction.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
And we bring it back to Kimberly High School on this beautiful, it's a beautiful January evening here in Northeast Wisconsin as Kimberly leads Appleton North here, level 3 of the playoffs by a score of 14-6. I'm Joey D alongside John Dinsey. John, what a first half we saw there. What do you suppose is going on there in halftime? What do you tell your team here?
Well, if I'm Kimberly, I mean, I've been here before, right? I mean, I've played in the playoffs. I've played in important games. I've been up against elimination before. And I've been up against elimination on 4th down and had to convert a 2-point conversion. So really nothing should phase Kimberly. Now, what do I think they're talking about? I think they're probably asking themselves, how do we continue to move the ball with Martzel at quarterback, but give ourselves a position where Martzel can be a run-pass option? Now, that doesn't mean he's got to throw the ball down the field, but sometimes they might need to move the pocket with him a little bit just so that the box doesn't get overloaded too much when he runs the ball. Because North, Joey, is able to defend the run against Kimberly more effectively than really the opponents have leading up to this game.
Big shout out to our sponsors tonight, Fox Communities Credit Union, Dan Wellhouse and Sons, Myron Construction, Ace Hardware, Midwest Workwear, Creative Imprint, Julian Strategic Alliance Group, and Tanner's Grill. Thank you so much for jumping on board here for level 3. Winner here gets either Bayport or Marquette. Madison Memorial and Sun Prairie going at it, Muskego and Franklin. In Division 2, we got Superior and Kaukauna. Brookfield East against Menominee Falls, Hartford and Waunakee, Burlington and Waukesha West. In D3, Menominee and Medford, West Superior and Menasha, DeForest Monroe, New Berlin Eisenhower and Plymouth. Friedman Wrightstown, what a good one that should be here tonight. Kiel and Berlin, Lakeside Lutheran River Valley, Catholic Memorial Lake Mills. D5 has Northwestern Stratford, Amherst Chilton. GET against Prairie du Chien. Lake Country Lutheran against Racine St. Catharines. D6 Regis and Spring Valley, Abbotsford Coleman. Mondovi Mineral Point, Racine Lutheran and St. Mary Springs. Then there's D7 with Bangor, Turtle Lake, Edgar and Gilman. Blackhawk Warren against River Ridge and Hilberton Lords. Now, that should be an interesting one tonight too in D7.
Yeah, Hilbert Lords, Northwestern, and Stratford. 2 small school games that I think everyone should be paying attention to the scores of those. Joey, and for Appleton North, they have to be able to run the ball this half. I need to see the ball in number 44's hands more. Cal Martini needs to touch it. He needs to run it. And they need to have some success moving the ball on the ground if they're going to come back and beat Kimberly. But the Appleton North is going to get their first crack at it on defense, led by number 92, Wes King.
Makers get it up 14-6, just starting quarter number 3 as the wind really does start to pick up a little bit too. But we noticed it at halftime, just walking around downstairs a little bit. Can't imagine what it is out there on the field. Martzel with the carry here, and he might have gained a couple up to about the 36-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 4.
Very customary way for Kimberly to come out. Pendleton's at quarterback. They got 2 tight ends in. They bring Peroni in as the 2nd tight end, 2 fullbacks, 22 personnel, and they run it right at you.
By the way, Wes King on the stop there. 6'4", 240-pound, only a sophomore for Appleton North. Very talented. And it is 2nd down and 8, they'll say, on the 36. And they'll work it to the right side.
It's kind of what I talked about earlier. You know, I know Pendleton's in at quarterback, but when you're in a 22 personnel look, a heavy run look like that, you have to have the ability to run and pass. And that's just a quick 3-step drop, quick game throw, get yourself 4 or 5 yards and put yourself in a 3rd and manageable. Big early 3rd down play for the Appleton North defense to try to get Kimberly off the field and force a punt.
We saw this quite a bit in that first half. A lot of 3rd down conversions for the Makers.
Especially early.
Yeah. Can they do it again here to open up half number 2? We just started. Minute and a half in. It is 3rd down and 3 on their own 40-yard line. Here's Frazier. Cuts it back up, and he is stopped. A big stop by the defensive line for the Lightning. And Kimberly is going to be forced to punt with the wind at their back.
A ton of penetration again, and we've talked about it as the game has gone on. The Appleton North defensive line has been up to the task, gotten penetration, and really shut down the Kimberly run game. But again, Zuck, number 33, in the middle of all the mess for the North defense to force a 4th down and a Kimberly punt.
Clock runs just under 10 minutes left to play. See what this one does.
Good ball.
The wind at his back, backing up, taking it on the 15-yard line. Not going to go too much further than that. Nice open field tackle by Ben Peasy.
Great punt by Brett Peroni. Turn the field around and now force North to start basically around the 20-yard line.
It will be 1st and 10 on the 21-yard line with 9:43 left to play here in this 3rd quarter.
Joey, the wind just took the ref's hat. He's chasing it down. He just got it.
It really is. We've
poor
said
guy.
it a lot, but it really is.
I think he lost his beanbag, too. It's still out in the middle of the field.
It is having a factor here this evening.
Wow.
They'll hand it off, just like you said North has to be able to do in this half. And on the first play of their first possession, they are pushed backwards.
Yeah, Martini in basically inside zone, out of shotgun, one of the most common shotgun run plays you're going to see, and really didn't go anywhere.
I said Charlie Hardy got that.
I was going to say Martini's not in.
Hardy, the 2nd leading rusher on this team.
Hit a big run in the first game, Joey.
That one falls just short again. Good coverage. Looking for Funky. And right there on the coverage, Jack Sutton. So it's going to be 3rd down and long for North on their first possession in the second half.
I don't understand those throws. I mean, those, against the wind, those are tight window throws. And really, because Sutton got such depth, you're basically 3-on-1, and the out route by the number 2 receiver was wide open. Just throw the ball and check it down.
Shuck him in the give. On the left side, going absolutely nowhere. Well, he went to the 25, but that's about it. It's going to be 3 and out for North. So both teams' defenses stepping up big on the first possessions of the second half.
If you're watching at home, the Kimberly defense is defending the run with a stacked box. So a box that really isn't moving. They're moving 3 players over to the trips wide receiver side, and the other 8 players are defending the run. Now, when they split out a 4th wide receiver, it's 7 guys instead of 8, but they are defending the run first and forcing, really, Appleton North to throw it.
Well, gets up in that wind and just dies again and barely gets across midfield. We'll see where they mark it, but Kimberly will get it back near midfield. High school football tonight being brought to you by Ace Hardware of Appleton. Proud to support high school sports. And the Appleton North Lightning. Your neighbors at Ace are here to help you with that next project. At Ace Hardware of Appleton, you'll find window treatment kits, LED lighting, a wide selection of shovels, salt, tools, plumbing, grills, and a whole lot more. Plus, you'll save even more with your Ace Rewards card. When you want the service you need, you have to shop Ace Hardware of Appleton. Close, convenient parking. Shop Ace Hardware of Appleton on 00 in Appleton. Proud supporter of high school sports. 14-6, Makers get it back. Back-to-back 3 and outs.
22 personnel again, fullback, tailback, 2 tight ends.
They'll start on the 49-yard line of Appleton North. Pendleton.
There it is.
Flag down, but he is down as well. Big number 92 in on the stop, Wes King. And it's holding on Kimberly.
Joey, Wes King, I'm telling you, is one of the best sophomore defensive linemen you're going to find anywhere in the state. And I don't know much about football. I'm going to admit that right now. But he's going to play somewhere big someday. He's really good. He's almost unblockable up front. Now, it's a good thing he got pressure because Kimberly leaked the fullback out of the backfield on that play, and they had him open. If Pendleton had any time to make that throw, but King just too much to handle for the Kimberly offensive line.
Leads the team now, his 5th sack of the season for King. Backs him up to the 41. It's second down at 20. The toss back to Winnick. There's a few blockers.
Joe, he's got 39 tackles on the year as the nose tackle in their 3-4 defense.
Oh. Nice tackle that time by Braden Gomerick on Winnick at the 46-yard line. So it's third and long for Kimberly. Might we see back-to-back 3-and-outs for this Kimberly offense? That doesn't happen too often.
No, and again, you know, you see the adjustments defensively for Kimberly. That's an outside run, right? And where does the ball end up? It ends up trying to bounce back inside. So Appleton North does a good job of containing and putting Kimberly in a tough spot. 4 wide receiver look. This was a screen earlier in the game.
Pendleton lost it in the air. One-on-one coverage and incomplete.
Has great coverage by Sam
Sam
Thau.
Thau right there.
Yeah, Sam Thau in the first game, really, Appleton North told the junior corner, you cover Winnick one-on-one. And at times, Winnick really made him look like a junior. And again, Winnick's one of the best receivers in the conference, one of the best receivers in the state, according to WIS football. But he made Sam Thau look like a junior. Sam has been up to the task tonight. That is great man coverage on an island by himself to defend Winnick.
I really would like to go back this season. How many times has Kimberly gone back-to-back 3-and-outs? Just happened, folks.
We'll have to get our analytics staff on that.
Adam, get on that.
Adam's not only the cameraman, he's our analytics guy.
Nice tackle on special teams. Will Hammond down. He goes. Josh Bailey took him down, it looked like, I believe. No, check that. Yeah, it was Will Hammond, sorry.
Yeah, Joey, the thing. Oh, there's a penalty. Sorry. Looks like holding on Kimberly, right?
He took the flag all the way back to the 39.
Yeah, they're going to have to re-kick. It was a hold probably on the line. Again, it looked like North got a ton of penetration. Not as close to blocking that one as obviously earlier in the game, but again, led to a hold. And you can see part of the reason, Joy. I mean, if you look out there, most of the starting defense stays in on the punt block team, and that's hard. That's a hard adjustment because, as you notice for Kimberly, that's their punt team. They're not keeping their offensive line in to block these guys.
So they'll mark it back at the 29. And with 6:58 left on the clock, they do have the wind at their back. But
Yeah,
still, you got to back them up 10 more yards there.
Yeah, Hammond's your long snapper, and he's got Wes King lined up over the top of him.
It gets up in the wind.
Great ball.
Way back. Bounces inside the 10 all the way to the end zone. Oh, my. Do we have a...
What yard line was that on?
He was punting from like that 15, I think. It went way, way deep.
Yeah, line of scrimmage probably had to be about the 30, but
It
he
was
was
the
probably
29 was the line of scrimmage.
Wow. That's a touchback, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
so the
wind.
line of scrimmage is the 29. So that's a 71-yard punt into the end zone. Net of 51.
Dang. They'll
I mean,
bring it out to the 20.
I coached college football, and I saw one punt over 70 yards in my life.
You just saw one there.
There's another one.
Quick pass, and it's complete, but it's going to be for a loss.
Griffin Weigel blowing up the screen, takes on the blocker, puts him on his butt, and makes the tackle. Again, I can't speak high enough, and if you've listened to me before, I've fawned all over him already. I mean, I've talked about how good Griffin Weigel is, but not only is he a good man cover guy, you just saw him in the run game defend as well as he does in the pass game. He's a complete corner.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12 on a 17. 6:15 left to play here in this third quarter. Tipped! Almost intercepted.
It's almost a birthday boy, Joey, again. DeAndre Williams had it in his hands, had another gift, and he dropped it.
Another birthday gift for him. He had one in the first half, and that one just bounces right out. And so it'll be 3rd down and 12 now on the 17-yard line. But yeah, everybody wishes he had his second one there.
And here's
On this
Appleton
side,
North
at least.
again in a 3rd and long. Again, getting behind the chains, not having success moving the ball in the early downs, putting their quarterback in a tough position. Sophomore quarterback, remember.
And it's complete, but he's going to go absolutely nowhere. That's Kyle Funky. Up to the 25-yard line. Exactly 6 minutes left to play here in the third. And it'll be a punt situation again into the wind here for Appleton North.
Yeah, and Joey, we talk about this a lot in football. You know, as a coach, you talk about this as hidden yards, right? So Kimberly had the ball on the 29-yard line. They punted. It ends up in the end zone, and North ends up on the 20-yard line. Now, where this punt ends, you know, they're punting from the 25. Where Kimberly ends up starting this drive, that net or negative or positive are going to be what we call hidden yards. So let's see where they end up.
And we got some
Now
movement
penalty.
up front. He kicked it, and it went straight up in the air.
Yeah, kicking against the wind here.
Oh, boy.
A penalty is not what they needed. So again, Joey, use that as an example. That ball bounces on the 40-yard line. So if Kimberly starts to drive on the 40 or the 45, the net benefit was they were on the 29, 21 yards to the 50. They get the ball on the 40. That's 31 yards if that's where they start this drive.
Wow.
That's the benefit in the kicking game. Those are those hidden yards that lead to points, really, and wins and losses.
3 penalties in the first half. First one here in the second half on North. Clock will run with 5:20 left to play here in this third quarter.
So clearly a big punt coming up. It's gonna
That
hit
one
it
won't
about
even
the
reach
40.
midfield.
Oh, we got a good bounce. Okay, Joey,
Picks
so
it
that's the 44-yard line. So that's 25 net yard gain in basically 2 back-to-back 3-and-outs for Kimberly's offense.
Hey, Midwest Workwear is a proud sponsor tonight. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike because it's Carhartt and Midwest Workwear. They've got you covered. Open under new ownership, still at the same great location in downtown Kaukauna. Lowest prices on Carhartt in the state, guaranteed. Visit MidwestWorkwear.com. Here comes Kimberly, running the offense out quickly with 5:07 left to play in this third quarter on their own, or on the Appleton North 45.
This is a big drive for the Appleton North defense. I'm worried about a run to the strong side of the field. They go the other way.
There he goes. One man to beat. Doesn't beat him. Guess who took him down? Braden Goymerak. He's been in on a lot of plays here tonight as well. Saving a touchdown there.
Yeah, that double tight look. The overhang has walked up to one of the tight ends. The other overhang was playing as a deep linebacker to the 2 receivers side, and really didn't matter either way as they didn't contain the edge. Again, didn't contain the edge.
1st and 10 on the 18-yard line. 4:45 left to play third quarter. Fake running to the right. He'll go to the left. Still on his feet. Spun twice down to the 8-yard line. A 10-yard pickup. That should move the chains or close to it. Yep, it'll be 1st and goal on the 8.
And really, they're lucky they tripped him up at the beginning of that play. Otherwise, he might have went in untouched. As the overhang got walked back and knocked down, inside linebacker ran past the pulling guard. And really, that trip up or, messing with the timing allowed other players for the Appleton North defense to rally to him.
1st and goal on the 8. 4:10 left to play. Here's Martel.
Yeah, it's a
flag throwing in. Definitely going to be a hold. He didn't have to toss that one too far in the air, and it just flew. Holding is the call on Kimberly. Back him up 10 yards.
Yeah, I mean, that one, Joey, is probably called by the Appleton North coaching staff. I think they got that call from the sideline. But you could see the overhang, number 43, to the bottom of the screen here. Looks like he got held by 87, Brett Peroni. That or 43 did a good job acting. One or the other.
So they'll back him up 10 yards, start the clock with exactly 4 minutes left to play here in the third. Kimberly up by 1 score, trying to extend that lead. It'll be 1st and goal on the 17 now.
Now, to the top of the field, Appleton North doesn't have enough guys over there.
Martel fakes the toss to Frazier.
Whew.
Up to the 15. He'll gain 2. It'll be 2nd and goal on that 15.
It's a good thing for Appleton North that they ran the ball to the left offensive left instead of the right. Because, again, the overhang, number 53, has walked off the line as an inside linebacker. And when Frazier goes in motion, the safety stays high and the corner's trailing him. So, ultimately, that safety needs to spin down really and defend Frazier. And that run, I guarantee Steve Jones saw, and that ball's going to Frazier pretty quick.
3:10 on the clock. 2nd and goal on a 15. Fake toss again. Martzel goes to the air. 1-on-1 for the tight end, and he's going to get the call. A couple of flags flying in. As on the coverage was Nathan Small. It looks like he might get called for a pass interference.
Joy, that is a great play call. Kimberly catches. Again, I've been talking about those overhangs. Number 43 is the overhang, like you said. That's Nathan Small. And Nathan Small has to play the edge, has to take on Peroni as a blocker. Peroni releases basically on a vertical route, and Small also has to run with him in the pass game. No chance, and he's got to hold him and really to prevent giving up the touchdown and take the penalty.
Small does have a couple of interceptions on the season, but there was actually 2 penalties.
Yeah, they got him. They got him for holding, and then they got him for pass interference.
All right, so pick your poison, take one of them. Either way, the 5th penalty on North. And big yardage there makes it 2nd and goal. They'll mark it on the 7.
You can see Wennick and Frazier split out to the top of your screen. Double tight end, fullback, quarterback power.
And of course, Martzel keeps it himself. Inside the 5, unable to get to the pylon, but
And
they'll have a 3rd and goal inside the 5.
And Joy, and again, he got outside of Nathan Small, who didn't contain and force the ball back inside. Now, Small's there to make the play, which is why ultimately he ends up getting outside, because Small misses the tackle. But again, you see a Kimberly offensive player beating a North defender to the edge.
2:56 left to play here in the 3rd. 3rd and goal on the 2.
2 fullbacks in the game.
Martzel to give to Frazier. And for the 2nd time tonight, Caleb Frazier crosses the goal line and extends the lead for the Makers to 20-6.
Yeah, I mean, those 2 fullbacks, the 2 backs that are in the game, the wide receiver that are in the game, they're all good players. But, you know, you follow Will Hammond, number 48, and number 37, Mitchell Smazinski, run behind those guys. You're going to score a lot of touchdowns, and Caleb Frazier has.
And with 2:53 left to play here in this 3rd quarter, the new score 21-6. Back after this.
Make fenced-in yard happen. Make 2-story in town happen. Or ranch in the country happen. Definitely make 2 bathrooms happen. With Fox, make we can afford that one happen. When it's time to decide on your dream home, Fox helps you make life happen. Visit one of 22 Fox locations or apply online today so you can make this is the one happen.
Fox Communities.
Well, where have we seen this before? Caleb Frazier into the end zone for another touchdown. Make it 31 on the season. His 2nd one tonight. The first one was a 1-yarder. This time, 1 more yard for him. A 2-yard touchdown plunge, aided by some penalties there. Remember, they were out 1st and goal on the 17. And they still tacked that one in. With 2:53 left to play here in this 3rd quarter, it's 21-6.
Yeah, I say it a lot. I mean, mostly because I've had a lot of Kimberly games. But, you know, Coach Jones does a masterful job of calling plays, regardless of 1st and 17 or whatever. I mean, great play calling. But you got to give players all the credit in the world for their execution.
Taken inside the 5-yard line. Breaking a few tackles and then push backwards. Forward progress, they'll give them out to about the 24. And that's where they'll start with 2:42 left to play here in this 3rd quarter. But now down by 2 scores for this North offense, who have been pushed a couple of 3-and-outs to start the second half.
Yeah, and Joey, if you haven't watched Kimberly before, and I'm sure the people watching tonight have seen them, I think 2 players that don't get enough credit, and really college coaches should be paying attention to them, are 81 Mitch Bartle and 48 Will Hammond. They're fullback and their tight end. Those 2 players make the run game go.
Here, once again, the give to Charlie Hardy. He's got a couple of carries tonight, the second leading rusher for North. He'll work his way out to the 30, gain a 6. Be second down and 4.
You know, Joey, we haven't seen Martini a lot. I wonder if he's hurt.
What happened. Is he in there?
Still again, no, Hardy's in the game. Now, Hardy had a big run against Kimberly in the first meeting and is a good back, but, man, Martini is probably one of their better players.
Pass is complete in the flat, but a quick tackle.
It's good yardage on second down to get you in a third and really manageable, third and about 4, or third and about 3, actually.
Complete to Bo Burling, their second leading receiver on the season.
Yeah, Bo Burling's kind of the utility person, does a little bit of everything, plays fullback, tight end, splits out. Solid player for Appleton North. See him in motion right now.
3rd and 2 on the 32.
Not going to happen.
Trying to run it once again. This will be close. Hardy once again. I don't think he got it.
He didn't get it, Joey. And this may sound crazy, but in my opinion, you have to go for it here.
Maybe try and do a quick hard count first. Draw him off sides.
Well, if nothing else, absolutely. But with the momentum going the way it is, you have to consider going for it. Now, Joey, what's the clock at right now?
1:05 here in this third quarter.
Yeah, if anything else, you just do not want to punt in this win. Kimberly pinch in the front. They're in an eagle front right now. Got it.
Oh, he tripped, but he just did get across.
Yeah.
Hardy did, and so moved the chains. 1st and 10. That was close. He tackled himself there.
Yeah, Kimberly went to an eagle front, so they took their nose tackle, play him over the center, and they moved both ends over the guards and tried to just squish everything inside. And if Arndt comes down a little bit harder off the down block of the tackle, that's probably stopped for a loss. Luckily, Arndt comes down a little bit too slow, and really Hardy trips his way to a first down.
35 seconds left, so they'll be able to get
Joey,
at least one more play.
That's a huge first down.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, if nothing else, they don't have to punt into the wind.
Clock continues to run. Down to 20 seconds now. Taking a left, going right, and
is that
falls
Williams again?
Just short.
No, it's Zach Arndt.
There's Arndt.
You know, Joey,
Was that one tipped at the line?
Yeah, it was again.
Yeah.
I don't want to micromanage your other coaches, but if you look to the 3 receiver side, they run vertical routes, but the 3 receivers are stacked and they're basically on top of each other. So no matter where Sheckelman throws the ball, really because they're so tight, one defender can defend the window against those 3 receivers. Now, Sheckelman looks to the 1 receiver side, but Arndt is dropping underneath that route. I mean, you're double teamed to that backside. I just don't understand conceptually what they're doing with the pass game. Now, there is no one over here guarding this receiver.
And a whistle
So
and a
Coach
timeout
Jones
taken
has to
by
use a timeout.
Kimberly. 18 seconds left to play here in the third quarter, and Steve Jones wants to take a timeout. Hey, after the game, in fact, during the game, we've been told that people watching us there at Tanner's Grill, head on down to Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly, a proud Papermaker booster. Head on down there after the game tonight. They got pizza specials I saw there on the program.
Oh, I saw it. I paid attention.
$5 12-inch pizza.
$5 12-inch pizza.
Yeah, I know where I'm heading
Half-pound
afterward.
burgers, wings. Oh, man.
Check out their full menu, tannersgrillandbar.com. Ride the Tanner's bus for all the upcoming green and gold games as well this season. Tanner's Sports Grill, it's right around the corner from here. 730 South Railroad Street in Kimberly. Interesting time out there.
Yeah,
With 18 seconds left to play.
Coach Breeze, the D coordinator, called it because defensively they just weren't lined up correctly. Weagle went to the 3 receiver side, which is interesting because he's pretty much always to the single wide receiver side guarding the best player for the other team. In this case, you see him on the bottom of the screen. Griffin Weagle, number 2, against number 11, Kyle Funky.
That is complete right at midfield.
I'm telling you, Joey, that window to throw that ball
Wow.
that is a big boy throw by a sophomore quarterback. I mean, and again, for the receiver, you catch that ball in a small little window before you know you're going to get hit by a safety. Listen, if it works, great, but those aren't the easiest throws in the world.
Will they get it off here? 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and nope, that is going to do it. They will whistle it, but they don't have to move the football. They just have to switch sides. 21-6, that's the end of 3 quarters. We'll take a quick timeout, come back with quarter number 4 right after this on our Fox Communities Credit Union video stream, Game of the Week.
When you're looking for a cutting-edge local company to produce your creative screen-printed or embroidered apparel for your business or team, Creative Imprint in Neenah is that company. Their experienced staff can bring all your ideas to life. They make you part of the experience with their online designing tool that allows customers to design their own t-shirts. That's how they make you part of the experience. Design your t-shirt and place your order online at creativeimprintapparel.com. Experience the difference.
Well, usually we got a couple of more seconds in between quarters because, you know, they got to go to the other side of the field, but didn't have to. This is very rare. You just
flip
go
it
to the other side. It's right at the 50. Here we go. 12 minutes left to play here in this in regulation. I'll go ahead and say it for the first time. 21-6, Kimberly on top. Snap is bobbled. It's got to fall down, and that's going to be a sack. But they do retain possession, but it is got to be second down and long now after the bobbled snap. What happened there?
Just dropped it. Didn't look it in and dropped it. Design pass all the way. Again, if you're watching at home, you can see that extra tight end on the bottom of the screen, really an offensive lineman, number 99. And Kimberly's defending those 3 receivers with 3 players.
Looking downfield and incomplete collision midair. Nice defense on the play by Xander Zima. Going up to get Kreitzer.
Yeah,
They both fell down on their bottoms.
Kreitzer's a big player, 6'4", good wide receiver, you know, but even he couldn't go up and get that ball. And again, I wonder if, you know, Sheckelman sees some of the underneath stuff. I know he fakes the screen and he throws the vertical route there, but no one covered the screen player. Just throw the check down and take yards and put yourself in a second and manageable.
Another quick pass and the old flicker backwards.
Hook
Did
and
he get
ladder.
the first down?
Hook and ladder.
Kreitzer then flipped it backwards
That's
to
straight.
Heron.
Joey, that's straight from Little Giants right there.
Oh, wow.
They stole it right from Rick Moranis' playbook. Unbelievable.
Hey, you're down by 2 scores. Your season is on the line here. Why not pull out all the tricks?
Hey, season's on the line. Can't leave anything out there.
That's right.
Can't leave anything out there, Coach. Let's go.
Don't leave that in a playbook and wonder why you didn't run it.
Here's that 2-back look. They've ran screen both times out of this.
Another high snap, though. This time, Shackelford draws it in and
Yeah, Heron
make
was
that
in at
Heron.
quarterback.
Sorry
yeah.
about that. That is Heron now.
I wonder if they split out Sheckelman there or they just put Heron in at quarterback. No, they just put Heron in at quarterback. That was it.
All right. He did
Sheckelman
gain
is
more,
back
though.
in, though, now at quarterback.
Minimal gain, just across the 40.
And again, North on a first down, high snap, bobble by the quarterback, puts himself in a bad second down position.
Second and long, 10:45 left to play here in this 4th quarter.
You got to take a shot eventually here, Joey.
Shackelford back in there. Fires across
Oh.
and incomplete's what they're going to call, but Funky had it, and Kimberly thought they came in and just stripped it, but the referee was right on top of it and said, nope, nobody had it.
Yeah, I think even in the NFL they would have said he didn't make a football move before he dropped it. But boy, was that close. That was very close. And again now, 2 back-to-back, I don't want to say mistakes, right, but miscues lead to 3rd and 10. Now, Appleton North in the position they're in, this is two down territory either way, Joey. So you got to get positive yards and put yourself in, if nothing else, a 4th and manageable. 2-back look again. Is Heron in at quarterback?
10:33. Nope, that's Sheckelman. 10:33 on the clock. Little screen pass tipped up in the air and incomplete. He was looking for Charlie Hardy out of the backfield. Didn't find him, but it is now 4th down. And like you said, of course, they will go for it with 10:28 left to play and down by 2 scores.
Yeah, that was just a little middle screen. And again, they've had the backs on screens a couple of times. You know, Hardy drops the ball there. Martini dropped one. They got tackled for a loss. They just haven't been able to get their screen game going.
4th down, Sheckelman. Little contact, but incomplete. Again, looking for Funky, and that's going to be a turnover on downs with 10:24 left to play here in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, Joey, not even really close. The ball was thrown behind the receiver. The receiver was just out of his break and wasn't even looking for it, and the ball was on him. So, again, you put yourself in a position where, it's 1st down, you don't get any yards. 2nd down, you don't get any yards. 3rd down, you don't get any yards. And you're in a 4th and long, and your quarterback has had a hard time with his accuracy throwing the ball in these conditions. It's just not winning football plays. And against Kimberly on the road, down 21-6, you need winning football plays.
With 10:24 left to play on their own 39-yard line. Here's Frazier. Looking for some room. Had a blocker out front, had to go around him. Up to the 44-yard line, gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Clock continues to run right at 10 minutes left to play, and now that clock's starting to favor Kimberly as long as they can keep it on the ground.
Yeah, nice patient run by Frazier. North does a good job really of stretching that play out and stringing it out and trying to contain the edge. Frazier kind of slow plays the block before he explodes outside and eventually beats him to the edge. Really nice patient run by him.
Martzel, the quarterback, gives to Frazier. Off right tackle to midfield. That'll move the chains. 6-yard gain. 1st and 10 right at the 50 with 9:35 and counting.
That's just a physical run, really, by both sides. I mean, you could hear the pads popping up here. You could see the safety fit from deep in on Frazier. And just a nice physical run, physical football play. Both of these teams, regardless of the score, are competing right now.
9:15 and running. Up by 2 scores, trying to stretch that. Long count. Fake to Frazier, and Martzel takes it himself. That'll officially be a sack. Nice job, Max Carpenter breaking through.
Yeah, I wonder if they lined up correctly on that play. They run quarterback power, so the 2 fullbacks are lined up to the far side of the field, and one of them becomes the pulling guard, essentially, and they run quarterback power. But normally you flash the back the other way across his face to try to force movement away from where you're going to run the ball. I just wonder if the back lined up on the right side on that play.
Carpenter, the 6'4", 200-pound senior, a couple of sacks this season. And with 8.5 left to play. 2nd and 13. Here's Martzel. Breaks one tackle, breaks another, and another. There he goes. Martzel. A 53-yard touchdown run puts Kimberly up by 3 scores.
Listen, a coach on a whiteboard can draw up X's and O's all he wants, but sometimes your X's are just better than their O's, and Alex Martzel was a better X than the defensive O's on that play. That is 100% great blocking, great execution, but 100% Alex Martzel, great vision, great run, great will to get that ball in the end zone and put Kimberly ahead. 3 big scores now.
That one is up, and it is good, so it makes it 28-6 with 8:13 left to play here in this 4th quarter. This break in the action is being brought to you by, who's next up? We got Dan Wellhouse and Sons, who jumped on board to help us out and need a professional flatwork concrete for an upcoming new or home improvement project. It's not too early to call your concrete specialist, Dan Wellhouse and Sons, for an estimate, 759-1532. They're committed to providing quality services to its customers and believe that a reputation as honest and reliable business is the recipe for success. See all their concrete services at wellhouseconcrete.com. Or for more information, call 759-1532. Dan Wellhouse & Sons, proud Kimberly booster, wishes the Papermakers good luck in today's game. So far, so good. 28-6. The winner here will move on to the state semifinal and take on either Bayport or Marquette. And scoring tonight coming from Frazier on a couple of touchdown runs. Also, Connor Winnick had a 9-yard run. And then a 53-yarder. Boy, once he got in that open air, he was gone.
Over, yeah. And that, it's just lead zone, so the fullback blocks off the edge and blocks the overhang. But really, if you overrun the play, and that's what happened. The inside linebacker overran the play. Martzel cuts it back, and then once he got in space, he broke tackles, broke ankles. He did it all.
So, North now in pretty much a must-score situation here with 8:08 left to play, down 28-6, and they will have it on their own 43-yard line.
Joey, we've had Kimberly a lot there. I've had Kimberly a lot this year, and we talked about it all year that, we knew they'd be a good football team, but in the playoffs, could they throw the ball enough, with a young quarterback to win against your best talent? This is the best team they've played, and they haven't had to throw the ball with how well they've ran it. So it's really been irrelevant.
Kreitzer heard some footsteps there from Nolan Harkey. Kind of threw it behind him, so tough pass to catch anyway. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Clock stops with 8:03 left.
Right, Joey, but the discipline of that Kimberly defense to play, with the 2 high safeties that probably in their defense don't get enough credit to just be there in a position to make the catch hard is part of the reason North hasn't had a ton of success throwing the ball.
Nice tight spiral, but a little bit too far. Looking for Heron, and so it's going to be 3rd down and 10 on their own 43-yard line.
When you're playing Kimberly and you take shots like that, wheel routes or vertical routes or seam routes or stuff like that, and you don't complete those plays, again, tough windows to throw the ball, not high percentage throws, you really put yourself up against it, right? I mean, now you're in a 3rd and long because you didn't complete those 2 passes. Really, watching teams play Kimberly, the most success you've had against them is when you take quick, easy throws and have positive plays, 4 or 5, 6, 7 yards. But now down 3 scores, Joey, you don't really have a choice.
Only took a couple of seconds off the clock, 7:58. Shackelman takes off himself and pushed out of bounds. You're lucky that there was not
close
a
play
late,
to the sideline there.
late call there. Zach Arndt was right there to push him. And it's going to bring up 4th down, though.
Again, watching
49.
football now, Joey,
Yeah.
just every time you see those plays, you just wonder, is there a flag coming out?
4th and 4 on the 49 with 7:50 left to play. Got to figure if they don't convert here. Hate to say it, but, well, let's see what happens. I don't want to put a spork in it just yet.
Let's not write them off yet.
Yep.
Again, 3 defenders to the trip side on the bottom here. Oh, my gosh.
Wide receiver screen. He caught it. Did he get enough?
I think he did. He's getting
I think
a bad
he did
spot.
Too. What
He's
a
getting a
catch
bad
by
spot.
Funky.
Oh, Joey.
Weagle
they
was
gave
right
him-
there to get him.
Joey, they
Got to
gave
stop
him
that
a
clock with
bad
7:45. I thought he got it.
spot. Oh, my gosh. That spot is
Uh-oh.
that's not even
Funky's
close.
sitting down on the turf.
He's trying to
Trainer's
move the ball
out to
forward.
get him.
He's trying to move the ball forward to where he actually was when he fell down. Joey, that's not a good spot. And I would argue they're a yard off in that spot. And he is not going to get this 1st down because of it.
Well, this break in the action. Well, let's see the measurement first before we get into our sponsor here, Ace Hardware of Appleton. I'll thank all of our sponsors, which we will here momentarily, but this is a very important spot. Didn't get it.
by that half
Did
yard.
not get it. Turnover on downs. Kimberly gets it back with 7:45 left to play here in this fourth quarter. Oh, boy.
If this
It's
is the
it's a
NFL,
human
there's
error game.
if this is an NFL, there's a challenge flag on that one because that spot was well short. And honestly, Joey, when he caught the ball, I thought he was going to get tackled at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe he got any yardage.
Let's hope he's okay, too. He was hobbling off there.
Yeah, he did not walk off on his own power, Joey.
All right, there's all of our sponsors tonight. Fox Communities Credit Union, Dan Wellhouse & Sons, Myron Construction, Ace Hardware, Midwest Workwear, Creative Imprint, Julian Strategic Alliance, and Tanner's Grill. So Kimberly will take over and give to Frazier. Might have got a yard. Clock runs with 7:35 left to play. Now, if you know, well, so it's a little too early, but I was going to say, when do you use your timeouts? They got all three of them. Not yet, though.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you can't yet. Down 3 scores. I mean, you'd like to have about 6 timeouts right now. Really good play again by Max Carpenter. Again, 92-91 on this defense. If you haven't noticed them, pay attention because they are 2 really good defensive linemen. Again, they shut that play down.
Frazier sets out there as a wideout.
Q power.
And Martzel takes it himself. Wilson Zuck again helping in there on the tackle.
Yeah, great job by the overhang on that play. I believe, again, number 43, who we've talked about a lot throughout the game. Nathan Small took on the block and really pushed the blocker back into the pulling guard and stopped Martzel before he could get going. Kimberly now 3rd and 8, and North needs a stop.
Right on midfield. 6:20, the clock runs. And they can take their time. Again, shotgun formation, Martzel will be the quarterback.
2 tight ends, fullback, and 2 receivers all to the field here. Counter again.
Flag right at the snap. Was it delay? Did they take too long? Yep, they took a little bit too long, so the penalty on Kimberly, their 4th one of this contest. Back them up 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 13 now on the 45. And clock stops in with 6:06. So that works in North's favor. Back them up 5, and the clock stops. Again, Martzel the
Kimberly
quarterback,
short a player
and
again.
yeah,
they are having some personnel issues tonight.
they want to take a
You know what?
timeout.
And Joy, I don't know if I've ever seen Kimberly have substitution and personnel issues like they are tonight, but again, Coach Jones had to take another timeout.
All right, then this break in the action is brought to you by now Ace Hardware of Appleton, proud to support high school sports, and the Appleton North Lightning. Your neighbors at Ace are here to help you with that next project. At Ace Hardware of Appleton, you'll find window treatment, LED lighting, a wide selection of shovels, salt tools, plumbing, grills, and a whole lot more. Plus, you'll save even more with your Ace Rewards card. When you want the service you need, you have to shop Ace Hardware of Appleton. Close, convenient parking. Shop Ace Hardware of Appleton on 00 in Appleton. Proud supporter of high school sports. Jumping on board here for the Appleton North Lightning, who are in a little bit of trouble here. 28-6, 6:06 left here in the fourth quarter. Winner moves on. As we're getting down to it, we'll be down to Madison before you know it. Unbelievable how far, just how quick football just flies by. I know it's cliche, but we're at level 3 already. And it's 3rd and 13 on the 45. Long pass, looking for Winnick. Did he haul it in? What a catch, Connor Winnick! Again, a 3rd down and long conversion for Kimberly. That's been one of the stories of the night. And they'll get a new set of downs on the North 31.
You know, Sam Thau has played a really good game, especially in comparison to how he played the first time North played against Kimberly. But I don't know why on 3rd and long, the Appleton North defense would put him in a one-on-one with Winnick and not have a safety over the top to help. Puts him in a one-on-one. Martzel just puts the ball up there in a position where, arguably the best receiver in the state can just go make a catch, and he does. And that's probably going to do it, realistically, Joey.
Yep, 5 minutes and 25 seconds, and running.
Besides, obviously, some sort of miracle comeback. There's fumble.
There we go.
Jeez Louise.
As soon as we talk about that.
I'm done. I'm done saying anything.
Back
They're never going to let me into Tanner's if I keep talking like that.
Back at the 41-yard line.
And Coach Jones, wisely, he says, let's bring Frazier in. We'll just put Martzel and Frazier in together.
Yep. Right at 5 minutes up to play.
Joey, a really interesting adjustment they've made in this game is you haven't seen a lot of Martzel and Frazier together in the backfield. They've been in the game together, but they've split Frazier out a ton. Now, there they are in the backfield again, and this combination has been unstoppable in the playoffs.
Give to Frazier. Look at all
Good
the
luck.
blockers. Still on his feet, cutting back inside the 15-yard line. Caleb Frazier. Cowbell's going nuts here, really sensing what's about to happen here. They'll mark it at the 28-yard pickup. It'll be 1st and 10 right there with 4:25 in running.
Well-designed play and, truthfully, just great execution. I mean, again, we talk a lot about Kimberly's coaching staff, and we talk about their tradition and their success. No one should take away from the fact how those players on the field are executing right now offensively.
And again, it was when they put Martzel and Frazier right there. It's been highly successful.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, if you're watching at home, notice number 3. After he hands the ball off, he carries out his fake because he has an option to keep it. And magically, I know Coach Jones sees this, no one's running with Martzel.
Yeah.
So just wait for him to keep it, Joey, and run into the end zone in about 2 plays.
Gain of 1, so it'll be 2nd and 9 on the 11-yard line with 3:30 as the clock continues to tick down. And Kimberly trying to punch it in again.
Coach's favorite friend, if you're an offensive coach right now, it's 4-minute offense, which really this has been about 6-minute offense of just wearing them down, running the clock out, and hopefully putting it in the end zone.
Martzel this time will keep it himself. Looking for the pylon. Did he get there? He lost the football as he went out of bounds right at the 2. So it's going to be close to a 1st down.
Yeah, but there it was, Joey. Frazier flashes across his face. They fake the sweep to him, and Martzel keeps. And there was a defender out there, but Alex Martzel in space one-on-one with the defender, especially an outside linebacker. Good luck.
Did get that 1st down, so it's 1st and goal. Ball marked on the 2 with 3:08 left to play. They've got touchdowns of 1 and 2 yards. Can they do it again on 1st and goal on the 2? That one flies up in the air. Martzel is swallowed up outside the 5 by a slew of white jerseys.
Man, those snaps all night have been all over the place. Seems like a lot more for Appleton North, but that's another one for Kimberly, another high snap.
Won't you try and go under center and try and sneak one of those in?
Joey, and until about 10 years ago, sure. Now no one goes under center anymore.
Yeah.
Except what, like Navy? Maybe that's about the only team still that they run under center.
So they'll bring it out to the 7, a loss of 5, 2nd and goal with 2.5 on the clock. It'll continue to wind down. 2nd and goal on the 7. When they do snap it, it'll be about 2:15. Well, unless they take a timeout, and they do. So this break in the action is brought to you by Midwest Workwear. Let's find there. There we go, Midwest Workwear. Hey, tell old man Winter to take a hike. We all like to right now.
Yeah.
No, it's not even winter yet. Carhartt and Midwest Workwear, they've got you covered. Open under new ownership, still at the same great location. It's in downtown Kaukauna. They got the lowest prices on Carhartt in the state, guaranteed. Don't let the winter blues get you down. Gear up with the largest selection of Carhartt workwear, including high visibility, flame resistant, and rain gear. Give Midwest Workwear a call today to learn more about their corporate programs. Visit MidwestWorkwear.com. Stay safe, be comfortable, shop Midwest Workwear. Fine sponsor of high school sports here tonight. Level 3, and it's looking good once again for the Kimberly Papermakers.
I think we need some of that Carhartt for next week.
I need some right now.
Right. We should have talked to our sponsors before the game.
Yeah.
Should have went in there.
Second and goal on the 7 with 2:18 left to play. Here's Frazier.
Oh, boy.
Here's Frazier. Here's Frazier. I say it 3 times because he's into the end zone for the 3rd time. Kimberly extends their lead.
Yeah, Joey, that's it's really well executed, well blocked, a lot of movement by the offensive line. Pulling guard leads in front of Frazier. Frazier does the rest and carries people into the end zone. Kimberly 34, Appleton North 6.
Pinning the extra point. That is up, and it goes through the uprights. 2:13 left to play in this one. And a new score, 35-6. High school football tonight being brought to you once again by Tanner's Grill. From what we understand, at least our friend Leo said they're going to be watching it. They'll put it up on the big screen tonight, our video stream tonight. Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly. Proud Papermaker booster inviting you to Tanner's. After tonight's game for your post-game meal, check out their full menu, tannersgrillandbar.com. Be sure to book the Tanner's bus for all the upcoming green and gold games. In case you didn't know, there's one this Sunday. Book your trip up there. Tanner Sports Grill, 730 South Railroad Street in Kimberly. Proud booster of the Kimberly Papermakers, who are cruising once again tonight. 35-6, the 3rd touchdown run of the night. Let's see here, out onto the 29. Let me do my quick Indiana math. That's 32 touchdown rushes for Caleb Frazier this season. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, he's impressive. I mean, I've
and
again,
only a junior, 6'1" junior.
Again, I've had these guys 4 weeks in a row. I've had them 5 times this year, and Caleb Frazier is as impressive as the $5 12-inch pizzas at Tanner's.
That is pretty impressive. That's a good comparison.
I mean, I don't know if there's another back we've seen this year that, in the Valley at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we haven't been to Milwaukee, we haven't been to Madison. That's as impressive as he is. And honestly, Joey, they're lining up another really good back at quarterback with him in the backfield. And like I said at the beginning of that drive, when they put them in the backfield together, I don't know how you defend them.
Remember, this is a Kimberly team that had to totally adjust things at the beginning of the season. A little squibber there across
You ain't
the
lying.
40-yard line because they lost their starting quarterback with like 2 days to go before the opening game. And here we are. They are headed to the state semifinals again.
Well, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. I think it was it was the Rapids game. It was the first playoff game. And we went down on the field and we talked to Coach Jones and I was just very candid with him and I said, I've known him for years and I said, honestly, we had you in week 1, Steve, and you looked a little worried. And he was. And honestly, Caden Pendleton has gotten better and better all year and put Kimberly in a position where they're undefeated. I mean, that's the reality of it. Now, the Martzel quarterback, with Frazier in the backfield, that set obviously is a big part of it too. But people should not discount how well Caden Pendleton has played and improved throughout the year to be a viable quarterback for this offense.
And, oh, by the way, it's not just the offense. How about the defense, too, of this Kimberly team?
No one talks about them as much as they probably should because they're really good. And, by the way, they are playing without, number 1, right, Caleb Oberman, the defensive player of the year in the conference. They are playing without him probably for the rest of the playoffs.
North gives to Hardy up to the 40. It's going to be close to a first down. I think he might have gotten it. Clock is at 1:15, by the way. 1:15 left to play in this one, and they will start it At least they should. Now, there it goes. And they did move the chains. 1st and 10 on the 40. Trying to end the season on at least somewhat of a positive note here if they can move downfield. And still on his feet is Hardy. Charlie Hardy. He'll be back next year. 5'11", 200-pound junior. But last game here tonight for a very talented Appleton North team.
Very talented.
Gotta give it to 'em.
Very talented, very young.
Yeah.
Very young team that is going to be here for a while. Sophomore quarterback. Sophomore running back that honestly, this is a 14-6 game at halftime, and really all second half we haven't seen Cal Martini. So, you just imagine taking away, and I don't want to say Martini's Frazier, but imagine taking away a Caleb Frazier or a player like that. That's such a focal part of your offense for an entire half. And that's nothing to take away from Hardy, but obviously, Martini's their starting running back for a reason.
30 seconds left to play as the clock continues to run. It's 2nd and 7 on the 26. Toss back to Hardy. And he is run down from behind. Mason Stepanski, a junior linebacker for Kimberly. And penalty marker is down. Clock will stop with 21 seconds left.
Yeah, I think a late hit or lowering your helmet type hit on the sideline on Kimberly. Personal foul.
Personal foul goes on Kimberly.
Again, we've said it a couple times today. I mean, when you see a hit like that, you look for a penalty, and this time it got called. From here, hard to tell, if it was a late hit or what it was, but unfortunately, it's just none of those hits are allowed in football anymore.
I got both teams with 5 penalties in the game, and there were a couple that were declined, but officially 5 for each team. 21 seconds left to go here on the clock. Can North punch it in one last time this season? Inside the 10, it's as Hardy right at the 10. There's 10 seconds left. Can they get another playoff?
I think that'll do it.
You can hear the Kimberly crowd counting down for you. No, they do not get the snap off, and that is going to do it. Once again, the Kimberly Papermakers are headed to the state semifinal game as they win it tonight over Appleton North in Level 3 by a final score of 35-6. Wow, kind of surprising on the last play. Why don't they try to rush it just a little bit faster? But
they want to get inside too, I guess.
I suppose so. Final score, 35-6, gives us one more opportunity here to get to one of our fine sponsors here before we get out of here. It is Dan Wellhouse and Sons. In need of a professional flatwork concrete for an upcoming new or home improvement project? Not too early to call your concrete specialist. Dan Wellhouse and Sons for an estimate 759-1532. They are committed to providing quality services to their customers and believe that reputation as an honest and reliable business is the recipe for success. See all their concrete services at wellhouseconcrete.com, or for more information, call 759-1532. Dan Wellhouse and Sons, proud Kimberly booster, wishing the Papermakers good luck in today's game, and good luck as they will be moving on once again with a final score here of 35-6. Let's get the final thoughts here of the coach, John Dinsey. What do you think?
Well, I think Appleton North, when you look at them, obviously their season's over, and I'll tell you, they're the best team I've seen play Kimberly all year. And I know the score is, I get it, I see it, just like you do. It's 35-6. But they're a talented football team, and they're a young football team. And the difference in this football game is Kimberly's inability to beat themselves. They just do not beat themselves. They are fundamentally sound. They're gap sound. They do their assignments. They play as a team. They play as a defensive unit, and they out-execute you on offense. They just do. And that, to me, separates what really, in my opinion, North is as talented, maybe not as talented as Kimberly, but they're close. They just didn't execute the way Kimberly does. And they don't do some of the little things like maintaining the edge, right? Staying deep as this high safety. And in some cases, the coaching side of it, right? Like playing to a high safety and giving help against Connor Wennick. North just didn't do the things that Kimberly continues to do, I would say almost flawlessly. And that's why you see Kimberly, honestly, Joey, they have taken 3 rounds now. They've had teams from their conference get a second shot at them, and they've been up to the task. And honestly, they've blown out all 3 of them. They blew out Rapids, they blew out and Nina, and this game wasn't close, realistically.
And they win it tonight over Appleton North. I want to thank again our sponsors, Fox Communities Credit Union all season long, Dan Wellhouse and Sons, Myron Construction, Ace Hardware of Appleton, Midwest Workwear, Creative Imprint, Julian Strategic Alliance Group, and Tanner's Grill. That's going to do it for Level 3. Again, we will let you know exactly what channel and where and who we're going to be covering next week. We got a couple of teams that are going to be moving on to Level 4 state semifinal action. We'll follow as many as we can as far as they go, including these Kimberly Papermakers. From a broadcast partner, John Dinsey, we got Adam Van Handel here on our camera work, helping us out here tonight in some tight quarters, some cold headquarters here in our studio here on the road in Kimberly. I am Joey D bidding you farewell. Final score once again, Kimberly 35, Appleton North 6. This has been a presentation of Woodward Communications.